wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. And I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, welcome to it. Hope you're having a good one so far. Gonna be another, typical windy, warm day in southeast New Mexico here. We got, of course, we got a red flag warning for you today and all of that good stuff. So,
hey, thanks for the good news.
Happy Wednesday.
Captain Optimism over here, everybody.
And may the 4th be with you.
And may the 4th be with you.
Yeah, and also with you.
This is the May. I was so mad I missed that. I posted up in the group chat, this is the way, and Mike hit me back with this is the May.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to Revenge of the 5th yet.
No. not quite yet.
May
it's
the
Revenge,
4th.
It's Revenge of the Sith, isn't it? 6th, isn't it?
I thought it was Revenge of the 5th.
It might. I mean,
a play on
I
the
guess you
sixth.
can. Well, yeah, Revenge of the Sith, but it would make more sense to Revenge of the 6th, right?
Or 5th.
Yeah.
Sith, 5th.
Sith, 5th. It works. I guess either way it works.
Yeah. You celebrate Siths on the 5th or 6th, do you?
Speaking of, have you ever heard a British person say the word 6th?
6th.
They don't say it right. I've never heard a British person say the word 6th. They always say 6th.
6th.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's weird. I've just heard British people randomly say the word 6th a lot lately because I watch.
Really?
Well, there's certain British YouTubers that I watch.
Oh, you're watching television.
Well, it's YouTube content, but yeah, but they almost universally they all say 6th. It's like they can't say 6th.
Maybe we're saying it wrong.
It's very true. I mean, it's kind of like we're the only place that calls Z. Everywhere else calls it Z.
They do?
Yes.
Zed?
Yes, Zed. Everywhere else besides the United States pretty much calls, I think it's like us, like Latvia, and then like one or two of like the or principalities of the Congo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do they speak English in those places?
No, they use imperial measurements.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So what's that got to do with Z?
It's sort of like a translation thing. But yeah, they use Zed when they use the letter Z.
I'm out of my element here. I have no idea what any of that stuff.
It's weird, dude. It's like, okay, so having kids that have access to like, YouTube, like the YouTube Kids app or whatever, they'll find like kids shows to watch that'll be from Britain. And you find out the different things they call things. Like for the longest time, my daughter called eggplants aubergines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, it was weird.
Who calls them aubergines? British? England?
Britain, yeah. People in Great Britain. They're called aubergines over there.
Aubergines.
Aubergine. It was real.
Aubergine.
Yeah, it was real like off-putting.
Is that like a Latin term for eggplant or something?
I guess. It's what they call them over there. I don't know. Like we're the weird ones for calling them eggplants, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah, aubergine.
Well, in all fairness, why are they called eggplants?
Because they're shaped like eggs, kind of.
Wow, that's a bit vague.
They're vaguely egg-shaped, or they have like an egg. I don't know.
I don't know. I just when I see an eggplant, I don't think egg or anything that looks like an egg.
I think it has something to do with their early, like when they're first like growing, they look like eggs on the vine. Like before they could become full-blown purple, phallic-looking eggplants.
Okay.
They look like eggs. I'm pretty sure. I'm no horticulturist myself, but I assume.
I will go with that.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Although, in all fairness, I don't think either one of us are right.
Probably not.
Because I don't feel like eggplant does it justice. And what's that other word again?
Aubergine.
Aubergine.
Yeah.
That feels like a hair care product.
It's a lot of words and or a lot of letters for a kid to learn.
Yeah, or some kind of dietary supplement.
But
Like, hey, feeling run down? Try aubergine.
try aubergine.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that's, And to be honest, aubergine parmesan don't sound too good. You want an aubergine parm?
Eggplant fruit, aka aubergine. Hang on, it's literally just. What's the difference between an eggplant and aubergine? Two names for one plant, and much like the courgette and zucchini, it's a regional thing. Aubergine is a French word, and it's how Europeans refer to what Americans would typically call an eggplant. We call it eggplant because the original aubergine that was brought to North America by immigrants looked like white eggs.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, there you go. Now I can get on board.
Yeah. Now I can move on with my day.
When they turn purple.
Like later in the growth process, I'm assuming. Or that could just be a genetic thing. We've been genetically modifying fruits and vegetables for eons.
I think someone slipped a grape in one time or something.
Maybe. Another fun fact, the bananas that we have now are like nothing like the bananas from like the 50s. They say that the bananas from like the 40s and 50s are extinct, that type is, and that they actually tasted like the banana runts candy. Like the...
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah, like
the
actual
runs.
artificial banana flavoring. That's what the bananas used to taste like, apparently.
Really?
That's what they say.
I kind of like a runt.
Yeah, right?
I don't
would
like
love,
bananas.
I would love if a banana tasted like a banana runt. I'd be down.
I think they're lying.
Maybe.
I don't. Granted, I wasn't alive
Yeah, I didn't do my own independent
in the
research.
40s to eat bananas, but I don't know.
But they say that randomly, but the people who have talked about this say that the flavor of artificial banana is based on the original bananas from the 40s and 50s.
Okay.
So make of that what you will.
Dare I say, that's bananas?
That is quite bananas. And now you know. Again, why it would be perfect for trivia night. Just throwing that out there. I have a lot of random facts that do nobody any good except for on trivia night.
All I can think of right now is the line from Big Bang Theory where Penny goes to Sheldon one time and says, "You're about to jibber jabber about jibber jabber."
Figured we had some time to fill it. Let's get bananas
I
with
just feel like it was a good, but I like it. Don't get me wrong. I feel like
jibber jabber about jibber
we're
jabber.
jibber jabber about jibber jabber. Well, there you go. Think about that when you're cutting up some bananas to throw in your cereal this
And
morning.
here's the thing: you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you want to or not, you will.
So, is there any other fruits that taste different from the 40s, like blueberries or apples?
I'm spent on my fruit knowledge, man.
Okay. I don't know.
That's the bottom of the bowl in my fruit knowledge.
I imagine there's probably more than that. You know what I mean? Like, because
probably.
science has changed how we grow products. Mm-hmm. It's so different today than it was 100 years ago. So
150, 200 years ago, apples were just apples. Now there's like different regions, and you can get pink ladies or galas, and so it's all genetics.
You know, speaking of this conversation, this is I watch Picard on Paramount Plus.
Uh-huh.
I'm not caught up. I'm a couple episodes behind, but I've been watching it, and I don't know if we can debate all day whether it's a good or not. I still trying to determine whether I like it or not.
Right.
But in this conversation, they part of that series, they're dealing with Q again, so they're going back in time and all this other stuff. So during this one, they're in like maybe a couple years in our future, like 2027 or something like that, and so. As they, of course, they're from whatever century the Star Trek's sitting in.
21st and a half or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. And so they come back to relatively our time, and they make comments like, "Oh, the food tastes so real and good here," because in their time, I guess all food is fabricated, because
right.
Computer, Earl Grey, hot, all that, it's all computer food. It's not
Right.
grown in a ground or something. So they're eating the food and keep making comments. "Oh, it tastes so good. Oh, it's so flavorful."
It's so authentic.
Yeah. So when you say that, all I can think of is, well, guess what? In 20 years, we'll be doing computer Earl Grey hot.
Sweet.
Computer.
I'm all for the authenticity of food because there's still going to be that sect. And what it's going to be is the Gen Zers are going to be the hipsters of tomorrow that are going to be like, real authentic food, none of this digital stuff like you can get at McDonald's. We've got actual grown food here. That's going to be the farm to table of the future is legitimate grown.
Yeah.
Like actual food.
Look, a radish.
Real live food.
It's going to be like Waterworld where he's sitting there and he's like trading and the guy's like, I got paper. And somebody's going to be strawberries.
Strawberry.
He's going to have a jar of dirt and everyone's going to be like, oh, that man's got gold. Yeah.
He's got sod. It's like peat moss, just like a jar of soil you can actually grow something in.
Yeah.
That's gonna be worth its weight in gold.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
So, anyway, enjoy your time and your fake tasting bananas. Let me give you the rundown of what's happening on today's show. Here in just a few minutes, Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us, give us an update on what they've got going on. Plus, she's brought a guest, one of the new chamber members, for talking to some of the folks from Sun State. We'll get some skinny on what they're doing, too.
Nice.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Leslie Carrera with the Roswell Refuge. I think it's going to be Leslie. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be her. Is going to join us with the Roswell Refuge and give us an update on what's happening there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Marcos Navas scheduled to join us from the Roswell Hispano Chamber of Commerce this weekend, Friday and Saturday, Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, sir.
It's a celebration. I know it's the 6th and 7th, but it's the celebration of the Cinco de Mayo festival.
This year it's 67 de Mayo.
Yeah. Tomorrow is
Cuatro?
Cinco de Revenge of the Sith.
Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Revenge of the Sith.
I think that's why it should be Revenge of the 6th, because I'm not about to appropriate Cinco de Mayo for my Star Wars needs.
Either way, this is the May.
This is the May. It's gonna be May.
It's 7:17. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warming up over the next couple of days. We'll start off with a few clouds today and then going up to 90 by afternoon. Wind at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Sunny for the afternoon hours and then clear tonight. Breezy and down to the low 50s and then sunshine and upper 80s on Thursday. We'll hit the mid 90s with sunny skies on Friday. Sunny and hot for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I got to scroll up higher. 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 45%. Winds currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour. We do have another red flag warning for you today. That's going to kick in at noon through 8 p.m. That's because, well, we got more wind and what have you coming. It's New Mexico. That's what we get. Mostly cloudy today, gradually becoming sunny. Highs near 90 today, 89 officially. Winds are going to be out of the south this morning, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later today, picking up 20 to 25. Could see wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour later today. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 50. West winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Looking at your Thursday, sunny, 87 for a high tomorrow. West winds 10 to 15. Friday, sunny. We're going to be near the century mark on Friday, 97 officially. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then by Saturday, they're saying we're going to bust right through the century mark. Sunny, hot, 101 for a high. They use the term breezy for Saturday. And then on Sunday, more of the same, sunny, 98, so a little cooler, light jackets maybe, and then breezy as well on Sunday. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take about a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk chamber business on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Name to remember.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at RoswellUFOmuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
When Bluebell takes milk chocolate ice cream and loads it with chocolate-coated peanut butter cups and peanut butter cookie dough pieces, you get chocolate peanut butter overload. Better by a country smile.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walgreens stores and Albertsons United Supermarkets.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill it. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
It's one of the new ones. Yes, it's one of the new ones. They sprinkled in. I got some more new ones to smatter in, but they're not in yet. Good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Andrew Moore back with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, and we have guests as well, Tim Small and Terry Frawley as well with Sun State as well. Which
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit more about here in a few minutes with what these gentlemen do here. So.
I'll get the business part out, and then I'll let the guys take over and explain what we're doing. So we've got business after hours tomorrow. Pasta Cafe. Right. Everybody show up. That's always a good one. Lots of food, lots of drinking.
Pro tip, always the restaurant business after hours are very popular.
Absolutely.
Something about food just seems to, people are like, do I want to look at hospital stuff? Maybe. Oh, there's food? Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes.
But Pasta Cafe.
That's why we're here.
Exactly.
That's right.
Pasta Cafe, come on, you get some of their pizza
networking,
or some of their,
we're getting in there. Then on the 17th, we've got La Casa Community Behavioral Health.
Okay.
Business after hours. And then June 2nd, American Legion Post 28.
See their new facility out there?
Yep.
They got the new bar and everything out there.
We are excited for that. We are helping with a hiring event with the EDC and Workforce Solutions.
Okay.
That is Thursday, May 19th.
Okay. Will that be at the EDC or at
That
Workforce?
is at the convention center.
Oh, okay. A neutral location.
3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bring your applications, your resumes, because there are people ready to interview you on the spot and give you a chance to be hired.
So
you can be hired on the spot at this event.
Yes. So come prepared to be hired, which means dress appropriately, look like you want a job, things like that.
Correct.
Exactly. Put your resume together.
Comb your hair, brush your teeth.
Yeah, maybe keep your dirty jokes out.
Well, you're not just dressing up for the unemployment office. You can say, look, I did try.
There you go.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You kind of killed two birds there.
Absolutely.
By the way, can you sign this?
The Roswell Invaders are still looking for some host families.
Yes.
So if you're ready, willing, and able, have an extra room. Otherwise, these guys are going to be sleeping in a tent at Bonham Stadium in the middle of the summer in Roswell, and it's going to be 110. Let's not let that happen.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing. Yeah, I got a message out from some of the Invaders folks yesterday, and from what I understand, they need to find homes for about half the team right now.
Correct.
So they've still got a ways to go, and of course, season's going to be here in a short time. So, matter of fact, we're going to get the manager on. I think probably next week or a week or two. He's going to be back in town around the 16th. So we're going to get him. We're going to get Lance back on and promote that. But in the meantime, if there's families out there that like to host some ball players for the season. All I know is all the host families love them. Like they say,
yes.
Oh, they're so polite, so nice, so great. They're great additions to our home, and then we go see a lot of ball games and have a fun time. So,
absolutely.
So if there's some families out there saying, hey, I'd love to.
So if you're interested, you can call us at the Chamber 575-623-5695, and we'll get you in contact with who you need to be in contact with to be an Invader. And then we've got a grand opening ribbon cutting. Gold Financial on the 19th.
Okay.
So
come learn and see their digs, and then of course if you need some financial planning, which I'm sure everybody can use that advice. Yep. Everyone's trying to do better. I'm sure they can help you out do that.
Yep.
So.
And then the piece de la resistance, if I can talk today. We are going to be doing a lunch and learn with Sun State Technologies. They happen to do our IT at the Chamber, and we are happy to partner with them with a lunch and learn to learn all things IT. And with that, I will hand the baton over, and they can explain our event.
First off, question I got to know is how much head scratching is going on over at the Chamber security and computers and stuff? Because I'm sure there's a lot of quagmires over there that you guys got to untangle.
I think right now we're pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, if it wasn't good, then Andy wouldn't have invited us on.
I didn't know if you had a mess to clean up before you got in, or
No.
Because I know, and that's where I'll go. Because I know sometimes people, and I'm sure you guys know better than I do. It's your industry, but I'm sure you get a lot of folks that get in your line of work that let's just because a lot of people computers are one of those, and technology is one of those things where a little bit of information can be dangerous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I imagine a lot of your competition comes in claiming they can do some of the things you do, and then you guys probably have to come in and say, yeah, that's not accurate, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that make bold promises in your industry that don't know what they're doing. And
exactly.
Is that, am I close?
And we've been around, we're actually a division of Cellular One of Northeast Arizona.
Okay.
And this company's been around for 25 years.
Gotcha.
And then we started the IT division about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And so, we have how many techs do we have now? And then like 15 techs or so?
We have about 20 techs.
20
we have
total, yeah.
a whole project team full of engineers. We have the lead engineer. He's based out of Farmington, New Mexico.
Okay.
We have over 150 years of IT services within Sun State Technology Group.
Now, how long have you guys? Are you guys new to the Southeast New Mexico? Or are you just now? Or you guys been here for a while?
So we have a couple of clients in Roswell. In January, we really pushed an expansion for Sun State.
So really, this is a push to expand here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There is a need for it, and that's why one of the reasons we came down to Roswell. We've been to Roswell a couple of times this year.
I'm kind of curious because obviously with you guys being where you're at and when you get into larger cities and things, security needs are probably a little different than rural sides. But I'm kind of curious, because obviously internet, high-speed internet, things like that, it's available in some parts of Southeast, other parts where, you're lucky to see a telephone pole, let alone a signal of any kind. You know what I mean? And so I wonder, does y'all's games change when you get into the rural parts, or is it all the same? I mean,
our company started, in Sholo, Arizona.
Okay.
And so, we understand small markets.
Gotcha.
Very much.
So I didn't know if our challenges were different or more vast because we don't have the technologies, and it's harder to get everything right out in the rural parts compared to being in more urban areas.
Well, with our experience, the small communities, we like to look at it more expert in it than most, because we started in small towns. We started in the challenged areas.
Okay.
So the DSL, the
You earned your chops in the woods,
sort of,
and then I got you. Okay,
Right.
makes sense. So you're like, okay, we're kind of getting back to our roots here a little bit on some of this. Very good. So let's talk like specifics. Like what can you guys do? I mean, we talk cybersecurity and all. That's a pretty broad you know, thing. I mean, what kind of getting into the specifics? What's kind of some of the work you do for businesses like what you see around Southeast New Mexico?
So one of the biggest ones is the email security.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure everybody's familiar with phishing.
We live in a world like the Roswell Independent School District was hammered with a huge thing about a year ago. We're very well versed in cyber attacks. We've had in some of our larger entities, we've had a couple over the last couple of years that have kind of made waves around here. So yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about. And when you said email security, that's probably the biggest culprit.
Yep,
that's right.
With some of this stuff,
especially with so many people working remotely right now.
Absolutely.
There's so many easy ways
it's even
for
more
these
vulnerable.
hackers to get in. Yeah.
So when we talk about email security, 80%, 85% of all cyber attacks are caused by internal accidents. Oh, look, I got free tickets. Click, boom, open. And now the scammers have gotten so good at it.
Yeah.
They have what's called spear phishing now,
Gotcha.
where it's hey Mike, thanks for listening today. Click on this for your free tickets. Boom, they already have your first name.
Sure.
Hey, your car insurance. We saw,
They take a little bit of information and use it to extract more from you.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, we already got this on you. We're your buddy, remember? And then you're like, oh, okay. Well,
and they get a new employee who starts giving all this information out and everything.
Absolutely. Yep.
So is half your business education to businesses as much as physically putting in equipment and software and things to prevent some of this stuff? Is much of it where you have to sit down and talk with companies and say, look, these you got to tell your employees these are the things you look. I mean, we can protect, but the first line of defense is really
we do
users.
employee training. It's a very important part of what we offer. It is an education. That's very well put.
A very huge part is the education of the client. We have a dedicated team, and that's all they do is educate.
Sure.
And a lot of our programs we have a state-of-the-art training program that each client gets, and they can see from the CEO to the day 2 cybersecurity training where you rank. And it's really, really cool because everybody knows credit scores, right?
Gotcha.
And it's based off like the 800 credit score. So the higher you get, the better you are.
Okay.
And it's really interactive videos, really nice, up-to-date videos. It's not the dragged old sleepy training that we're used to.
I feel like I've been to a lot of those, especially in COVID. People just like, dust out those videos.
and it walks you through the basics of the risk, what causes the risk, what do we look for, and everything like that. And it's constant training because cybersecurity attacks constantly change.
Yeah.
Every single day, it seems like there's a new scam, a new attack.
Yeah, and that's just it. And I think the thing we need to stress is, even if you're sitting out here in rural southeast New Mexico, you're still vulnerable.
Absolutely.
They're more vulnerable than big cities.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Like what I'm saying is I think most people think, oh, I'm just a mom and pop business here. No hacker's going to be, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, they're going after the big company. They're going after the big score. It's phishing. They're throwing 7,000 lines and waiting for someone to take a bite.
That's exactly right.
And you took a bite, and they're going to reel you in, and that's really what's going on there, right?
And we encourage all small business owners to take a really serious look at their cybersecurity because you never know, one little click, and you could go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And we don't like to see that. We want to be very proactive and set attacks against stopping that.
Sure. So, I mean, so really, and this is where I kind of want to focus is because obviously you guys do this for the big companies things too, but really, like you said at the beginning, your focus is on these one-off mom and pop businesses, places that don't really have the budgets or, they're busy focusing on their product. They're not busy focusing on the cybersecurity side of it. And big companies have divisions that work on things like that. So it's a little different. Whereas, where the mom and pop business owner, you got to worry about payroll, you got to worry about products, you got to worry about your bookkeeping. Oh, by the way, people trying to hack into your computers and steal everything. You got to work on that, and you just can't go buy the Norton antivirus at Walmart and stick it on real quick and say, yeah, I'm covered. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. You know, and again, you know, we're dealing with retail stores, dentists, auto dealerships. I mean, nonprofit schools. We do a lot with police and fire.
Gotcha.
Which ought to tell you something. You know?
Yeah, because that's got to be the ultimate level of security for some of that stuff.
In fact, Tim got a call. What time last night? 11:30 from one of our
11:58. 11:58.
See, that's y'all's fault for getting in this line of work. That's you guys. I don't care how up in the chain you go, you're going to get the 2 a.m. call
Well,
saying
and they're
my
awesome
thing's not
that way.
working.
Sun State's awesome. From somebody that uses them all the time. If we have an issue at the office, there's a little button that you click on that's on your screen, and you open up a ticket. You tell them what's going on. And I don't think we've ever had to wait more than 24 hours on something that's not, and that's if it's not a big deal.
Sure. Yeah, if it's an emergency, it happens.
Oh, they
ASAP.
get on immediately.
Exactly.
And their crew is professional. They're, we can usually tell which one's going to be on, get on, because we know kind of the schedules at this point. And they take care of things as quickly as possible. Sure. I mean, it's wonderful. It's easy.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, just gee whiz, just about the industry in general, because it's hacking in that whole. It's a game, It's like you guys are trying to protect people. The hackers are always trying to figure out a way to work around that. So it's always that cat and mouse game.
Spy versus spy.
Yeah. Does the industry ever shift to kind of go on the offensive a little bit? Is that even a concept you can have in cybersecurity where you're thinking, you know what I mean? Where we're like, okay, we're just building walls or building defensive ways to prevent these guys. Is there a future where you guys are like, no, now we can go on the attack and find these guys? Where you can go on the offensive and go after. Is that something in the technology world that we could see in the future, or we're working on now, or is that that's not the game. The game is, we build the walls, they try to punch through them.
So with Sun State, we're extremely proactive.
Okay.
So to answer your question, yes.
Okay.
So we know enough about the scams, the past scams, the current scams, that we're building our repertoire and our weapons, so to speak, to attack the future scams. So we're extremely, extremely proactive.
Nice. Okay.
The best way to describe what we do is, everybody knows cars. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want you to imagine your worst day ever at work, and it's payday, and you got to figure out where to get that paper check from. It's extremely busy. You're trying to get out because it's on vacation. Everything is happening all at once. So you finally get out of the office. You get down to your car. The battery's dead.
Mm.
So then you have to go to your coworker to get the car started, and then you start driving home. You hit a pothole, get a flat tire. And then your check engine light comes on. And then you finally get home, and you forgot to pay the power bill. So not only is your car out of gas, you got a flat tire you got to get fixed before you go on vacation, your check engine light's on, you had a horrible, stressful day at work, and you forget to pay your power.
Gotcha.
So you say, I'm done. Mm-hmm. So you go upstairs, you hit the head, go to sleep. While you're asleep, you have little L's that come in, fix all your car stuff, right? Like a NASCAR pit crew. Fix everything, replace your tire. Magically, the power gets restored. Check engine lights. They do a deep dive, deep scan into your car and fix everything by the time you wake up. So you grab your suitcase and you head off to the beach for your vacation.
Nice.
At Sun State, that's what we do.
Gotcha.
We do a deep dive every single day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, regardless if your business is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
We are here 24/7 to do a deep dive and scan your systems, to be very, very proactive in preventing
the bad day.
The bad day.
Of course, that guy might want to work on his karma, too. I'm just saying.
Well, one of the things that Andrea mentioned, about the Lunch and Learn that we're going to be doing on May 25th.
Yes.
It's going to be, actually, the person who's running it is going to be as our Chief Technology Officer, Stuart Hensley.
Okay.
He's been in the IT world for 25 years.
Nice.
And what he talks about, and we just finished doing one in Farmington, New Mexico, and it was very well attended. And the Q&As went on for the questions that were coming out, and the examples and the things that people had. Everything from the chamber that had a problem and had a virus that came through and went all over the town and all.
The old love bug.
Yeah, and Stuart knows this industry inside and out. And to your point, when you started out on this, Mike, he was, you talk about people look at IT, it's like me. Mm-hmm. I'm the business development manager. I always say they call me teeth, but not for technology. I get around people like this, our engineers, and it's like foreign to me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people feel
they're hard to talk to.
They're hard to talk to.
I do with radio engineers, and
and I think people get intimidated. But when you listen to, and again, I'm not just pitching this. We want to really help people in this community, and to have Stuart get up and speak in layperson's terms. And use real examples as to things that we've done and things that we can do to help you.
Sure.
It's huge. And, we are not an intimidating group. I mean, we're fun people to be around. And, we have more training and more expertise than pretty much anybody you're going to find anywhere. And again, they're constantly getting extra training and getting certifications and all this because it's fast moving.
The industry evolves every day. You're talking about your scenario about going to bed and everything, wake up all fixed. That's IT. You go to bed and wake up, you're behind.
Exactly.
You're outdated. That's just the world that we live in right now.
And one more thing I just want to mention just before I forget, we're actually going to be giving a check to Harvest Ministries tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
When we get involved in communities, and we're involved in a lot of small communities throughout the country. I've been with the company 12 years. My brother-in-law started Cell One. So it's family to me.
Nice.
And we're in a lot of small communities. We're all, we own 220 of our own cell towers on the reservation. We understand that side of the business, but we understand small communities and small. I grew up in a small town in upstate New York. I get it.
Sounds like you guys are the American dream. It's small business. You put it together,
and you can sleep well when you're with Sun State.
That's great. Good. I'm glad you see, like you said, giving back to Harvest Ministries. They do so much great work for folks in need in our community here. So, and now they're coming into their summer months, which is their dry season. So I'm sure
we're happy to do that. And Andrea and Liz Taylor at the Chamber they've been partners with us for years, and just love these people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons when I go into a new market, whether it's in Safford, which we're going into now, and Safford Thatcher, and a bunch of these smaller markets that we're in. We want to partner with the Chamber of Commerce because that's the lifeblood of any market.
Gotcha.
And they've just done an amazing job. We just love these people. So
awesome. Well, if folks are listening here, come out to the Lunch and Learn on the 25th. You do need to RSVP.
Because we only have so many seats.
But it's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
It's free, and you're going to get lunch. We're feeding you.
Yeah. Who's on again? Yeah, who's on Sandwich Patrol? Do we have a
Dion?
Dion.
Dion. Pizza. Oh, they have. Well, are they doing pizza? Because their sandwiches and
they've
pizza are
got
delicious.
Sandwiches, they've got salads, there's pizza. Like, there's going to be a good spread.
You know what?
Dion's is excellent.
Dion's is the bomb diggity.
You guys have had their green chili ranch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think I still have some on my fridge.
Yeah, they sell that stuff by the bottle, and I keep it in my fridge all the time. So yeah,
that's a good plug for them. I hope they're an advertiser. With
yeah.
One of the good things about
send a pizza my way.
One of the good things about Sun State too is we're local.
Good.
A lot of different.
So you don't have to go through the gauntlet of like if you have an issue, you don't have to go through the gauntlet of push button things to get to an actual person.
No, you're actually talking to people.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
When I talk it's not somebody from a foreign country either. It's
Gotcha.
We're all based in the U.S. and myself, I'm the business consultant, and then I have a CSA, Mallory. We're based out of Farmington, and when I talk to current clients, they're like, "Well, your cell phone's 505? Yeah. Well, that's New Mexico. Yeah." Like you're in New,
I'm a person.
I know New Mexico.
That's right.
And they actually answer the phone. And if they don't answer the phone, they call you back. Like it's fantastic because you're talking to real people.
Nice. So please come to Lunch and Learn. Of course, if you can't wait till then, reach out to the Chamber or Sunset Direct. They'll be happy to start talking about your plan for your business or your home or wherever you need it, And but if you're kind of in the market looking and things, come out to the Lunch and Learn. Again, it's going to be here May 25th.
25th, 11:30. We'll open the doors about 11 so everybody can come in and start grabbing their food, sit down. And they can stay as long as there's questions to be answered.
As long as there's a reason to be there or the food runs out, whichever comes first.
Sure. Absolutely.
So there's a couple ways to get a hold of us.
Yes, reach out website or phone or whatever best way to get a hold of you.
So the best way to get a hold of us is call us.
Okay.
So 505-701-0972. That is my cell number.
Excellent.
Kind of scary giving it out. Call me. And what we could try, even if you think you're not in the need of it, if you have questions, call me. You never know.
Well, let's put it this way. If you are going online to do things, you need some kind of security.
Anything that's connected to the internet needs some type of security.
If you're watching Netflix, if you're shopping Amazon, if you're doing productive things, if you're just staring at TikTok videos all day, you're still going to need.
And there's no dumb questions.
Yeah.
We've never been made to feel dumb or incompetent when we've called for anything. In fact, we had a phishing incident. I got about 55 to 100 emails that said that my memory was full. And I was like, I know that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I threw in a ticket to Sun State. The guys were on the computer and they laughed. They said, nope, you did the right thing. And they blocked the phishing scam at our server so it doesn't even come into the computer anymore.
Nice.
Yep.
And folks, I'm curious because, we got a minute here. Is there ever an embarrassment factor when do you get people saying, I'm really embarrassed here, but I clicked on an email and do you ever get, I want to say that don't worry about that because
Absolutely, but
they're getting better and better at making stuff look legit. I'm going to lie. I stare at this stuff all day. I've gotten a couple emails. I'm like, let me call my boss. This one looks like it could go either way, and I'm going to check with someone first before I do it.
One of the things that we do also is we have a program that will send you phishing emails.
Okay.
To see who's clicking and who's not, so we could do further education.
Nice. So almost little tests and things to help educate your staff and things like that.
No one should feel embarrassed about
Nice.
it because
Good deal.
we have over 150 years of IT service history and support, and we still make boo-boos.
Sure.
We still click on the free Diamondback tickets or free Rocky tickets. Oh, oops.
Just don't let that pride get in the way because I know, especially in a world where you think you know a little bit, and then you're like, all right, I don't want to. And I know, I've seen Big Bang Theory enough. There's enough people that have that information. They're like, call tech support. What are you, crazy? I can handle this. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And I don't get in that thing because in this world, eventually they're going to eat your lunch.
There's some there's some smart hackers out there.
Yeah.
And they're like 8 years old.
Unless you're constantly 24/7 monitoring their activity like what your guys are doing, you're going to be behind the eight ball.
No, run your business.
Even
Let us protect it.
Even if you have an in-house IT, like most schools, give us a call.
Yeah.
Because we still support a lot of schools.
You
with
can never
in-house.
never have too many people looking out for you back.
That's right.
That's always a good thing.
We have one of our major projects now is a school down in Arizona that has an in-house IT, and we come to find out there was a lot of issues that happening that their IT didn't know. We do a deep. When I say we do a deep dive, we do an extremely deep to the bottom,
above and beyond, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
We give you that peace of mind that you're being taken care of, that your business is being taken care of. You don't have any liability with us.
Nothing's 100% safe, but you try your darndest to make it as close as possible.
Yep. 99.999999.
There you go.
Close as possible.
Before we go, anything we want to mention
Pasta
chamber-wise?
Cafe tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, come on out.
Business after hours. And then, of
5:30.
course, the 25th is our lunch and learn.
Yeah.
575-623-5695. Or show up at Pasta Cafe. Come on, let's do it.
In case you've never been to a business after hours, those are come-and-go events. They get underway about 5:30, but if you don't get off work till 6 or 6:15, no problem. Come on. They'll be hanging out till about 6:30, maybe as late as...
Till about 7.
Yeah, depending on...
6:37.
Pasta Cafe, there's food. They'll be there till at least 7.
And Tim and I are going to be there to answer any questions that people may have. So.
And, of course, bring a business card. You might win the pot. Usually
That's right. Business card and $1.
Everyone chips in that wants to. A business card and $1. And you might win 30, 40, 50, depending on how many people. It's a Pasta Cafe. There's going to be a lot of people.
It's a great networking event. If you're new to the community, come on. You can meet a lot of different people.
And like I said, come meet the Sun State guys. They're going to be there.
Sun State guys are going to be there.
Security
Absolutely.
With them. I'm sure they do talk security over a bowl of pasta with you.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything you guys want to mention we missed? Anything you guys want to make sure? I know we just conversate and I'm all over the place, but I don't know if there's
If you have any questions or concerns, 505-701-0972.
And if you remember none of that, call the chamber. They'll put you in touch.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
Or look for Sun State, probably on Facebook, all that too.
We're on Facebook. We have internet.
You'll get on there and you'll find phone numbers if you don't remember what we're saying right now.
I drive around in a branded car, so just flag me down.
Yeah, very good.
And T Small,
It's happened.
T Small at sunstatetech.com. That's his direct line. He's the local guy. So.
Very good. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you again soon.
Enjoyed it.
And hopefully I don't need your services all the time. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, maybe just once in a while we see you, you know.
Well, our clients are
Stay
everything
safe.
from radio stations to schools. So
You guys are like offensive linemen. When you're doing your job, you know what I mean? No
That's
one hears
right.
about you.
Yeah.
At the moment,
The unsung heroes.
Exactly. The offensive lineman of the security world.
there you go.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You take
thank
care.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Is there anything
See
you missed? I got all
we're
over the
good.
place. Good deal. All right, 7:50. Let's do some news. Kim Commando. We also have your Chaves County Sports brought to you by DSI coming up as well. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Rehabilitation work on the Hondo Trail is beginning this week. The project requiring the trail to be closed from South Virginia Avenue to the northeast, where the trail crosses East 2nd Street. The project is scheduled to be finished by the early June time period. It will include excavation and repair of various areas of the trail, followed by a pavement overlay. We're learning more about a deadly crash on US 285 last weekend, about 15 miles south of Roswell. New Mexico State Police said the crash involved 2 pickups and a semi near the intersection with US 380. The driver of one of the pickups was killed, his identity not being released yet. And New Mexico is increasing child care subsidies that are already the most generous and broadly available in the United States. Low and middle income New Mexico families have had access to the most generous child care subsidies in the country since last June, but they still paid as much as $900 per month for one child. Beginning next week, the copay will be waived, and child care will be basically free for all families up to nearly twice the median income in the state. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I've never recommended prayer apps because people have been successfully praying on their own for thousands of years. And with our addiction to smartphones, using mental health apps is like holding an AA meeting in a bar. But that's not all. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafekim.com. Many prayer and mental health apps are among the worst at protecting your privacy. These apps deal with our very sensitive issues: eating disorders, depression, anxiety, PTSD, domestic violence, and thoughts of suicide. In a study conducted by Mozilla, the company behind the web browser Firefox, the 6 worst offenders, the ones with the worst privacy and security, are Pray.com, BetterHelp, Youper, Robot, Better Stop Suicide, and Talkspace. May is National Mental Health Month, a good month for reevaluating the use of these kinds of apps. For more tech smarts, follow me at twitter.com/KimCommando. As a small business owner juggling 100 balls in the air at once, there's just no time to interview candidates who aren't qualified for the job. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier and faster than ever for you to find the people who you want to interview, and for free. Create a free job post in minutes to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates worth interviewing faster. Every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. You can post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. That's linkedin.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warming up over the next couple of days. We'll start off with a few clouds today and then going up to 90 by afternoon. Wind at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Sunny for the afternoon hours, and then clear tonight. Breezy and down to the low 50s, and then sunshine and upper 80s on Thursday. We'll hit the mid-90s with sunny skies on Friday. Sunny and hot for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We've got the state tennis championship starting today in Albuquerque. Avery Williams from Goddard is seeded number 2 in the 4A girls singles championship. She's got to bypass the first round this afternoon. Her first match will begin at 7:30 tonight. Olive Amechi from NMMI is part of that same draw. Minnie DeGroot as well from NMMI in the 4A girls singles championships. In the 4A boys championships, NMMI's Mason Hicks will be playing today at 4:30. Jose Nadal from NMMI also in action, and Grant Janaway from Goddard will see some action at 4:30 today. And in Class 5A boys, Ethan Shepard from Roswell is in the draw. His first match begins today at 4:30 at the Jerry Klein Tennis Courts in Albuquerque. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Employers posted a record 11.5 million job openings in March, meaning the United States now has an unprecedented 2 job openings for every person who is unemployed. A record 4.5 million Americans quit their jobs in March, a sign that they are confident they can find better pay or improved working conditions elsewhere. The United States says it will put a spotlight on the impact of the war in Ukraine and other conflicts on the diminishing availability of food and rising prices at 2 UN events later this month. The issue is sparking fears of increasing hunger and starvation in many countries. Norman Mineta, who broke racial barriers for Asian Americans serving in high-profile government posts and ordered commercial flights grounded after the 9/11 terror attacks as the nation's Federal Transportation Secretary, died Tuesday. He was 90 years old. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a ribtastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to have Leslie Carrera, I believe it'll be Leslie, with the Roswell Refuge, join us and give us an update on what's happening out there. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It has whipped up a firestorm of criticism that hasn't died down. The Biden administration's launch of a so-called Disinformation Governance Board.
The Department of Homeland Security says its newly created advisory board is supposed to tackle falsehoods that threaten national security. But the idea is coming under attack, and not just from conservatives who call the board an Orwellian Ministry of Truth. Washington Post columnist Eugene Robinson says Disinformation Governance Board is a bad name and a sillier idea. And Politico's senior media writer ridicules the idea that it's the government's job to determine what is true. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump's coattails remain very much intact, as evidenced by the outcome of Republican primaries in Ohio and Indiana. Every one of the almost 24 candidates endorsed by Mr. Trump won their races. That includes a high-profile U.S. Senate contest in Ohio. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts says the draft opinion on Roe v. Wade that was leaked yesterday is genuine. Now there's an investigation to find out who is responsible for the unprecedented breach of high court security. The draft indicates the court is set to overturn Roe v. Wade, but it is not the final ruling on the matter. The American Life League's Hugh Brown says that regardless of what happens with Roe, the only way to end abortion is to change people's minds and hearts.
It's not a political answer. Even this Supreme Court decision, it may change some things, but it's certainly not going to end abortion.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says there will be a vote in the Senate on legislation that would enshrine abortion in federal law. It will be a symbolic vote since the support necessary to pass the bill in the Senate is not there. Wall Street stocks are mixed right now. The Dow is up 35 points. The Nasdaq is down 91 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps, or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/lbox, and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/lbox for 60% off. legacybox.com/lbox.
Kenya is deploying thousands of police and other security forces to the country's north following a surge of ethnic violence.
The Kenyan government has described the latest killings in Marsabit County as barbaric following the death of several people, including a local chief. It says drought, political incitement, and the availability of weapons from conflict on Ethiopia are to blame for the rise of insecurity in Marsabit. Cases of cattle rustling have increased significantly near the border, which is one of the areas worst affected by the drought in the Horn of Africa. Kenya's internal security minister said police had intercepted a large number of weapons and ammunition smuggled from southern Ethiopia.
That's BBC's Emmanuel Igunza reporting. Beijing closing some 10% of the stations in its vast subway system as an additional measure against the spread of COVID-19. No word on when those stations will be reopening. News and analysis at townhall.com. California's population declined last year for the second consecutive year.
That's according to a new estimate from the California Department of Finance.
State officials say California lost 117,552 people in 2021, giving it a population of just over 39 million residents. California is still far ahead of Texas, which is number 2 for population in the U.S. California officials blame the loss on a declining birth rate and more deaths because of the pandemic. Also, fewer people are moving from other states to California. John Scott reporting.
Former U.S. Transportation Secretary Norman Mineta has died. Mineta, who broke racial barriers for Asian Americans serving in high-profile government posts and who ordered commercial flights grounded after the 9/11 terror attacks, died peacefully at his Edgewater, Maryland home, surrounded by family. Norman Mineta was 90 years of age. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Tay and we. Oh, the Deuce.
I haven't seen the movie in 100 years.
Chick Pack. Yeah, I still remember large quotes from the movie Nell, by the way.
Yeah.
I still remember large quotes from that movie. Skew into bed. I remember large Nell quotes. I remember nothing else from the movie, but I remember what Nell said.
Because it's so different, and then it's rhythmic a little bit. You know, the Tay and the
Chick
Pack.
Yeah,
it's just stuff that you remember.
Yeah.
And it regurgitates.
I was young when that movie came out, too. I was like, I want to say like 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
And that movie hit on a different level for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because I was a young, developing boy, we'll say. And then there's a lot that's revealed in that movie.
I have a story that I can't tell on the radio.
Fair enough.
That relates to all of this.
Oh, okay.
So if we ever do a Mornings with Mike Winters After
Dark,
I can do that story.
Yes, write that down.
That story will not make these airways.
Yeah, see, there are certain things that we hold back. There's certain things that only, I was going to say our therapist, but my therapist hears.
Yeah. My wife's my therapist.
Yeah, there you go.
She's got to deal with me.
Yep.
To be honest, this is therapy, and my wife is therapy. Me spewing on the radio, it's kind of therapeutic.
Here's the thing.
And I get paid to do it, so...
Kim was 6'1" when Mike met her. She's just weighed down by all his problems now.
She had a WNBA contract, and I wore her down. Yeah.
And it's just, ever since then, it's basically just Mike's problems on her shoulders been weighing her down.
Yeah. No. She was always that short.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. She was shorter. She got taller at some point.
Well, at some point, yeah. She wasn't born this way. But, I always love the congruity of you guys as a couple.
Yeah?
Like, your size variant works perfectly.
Yeah, because I'm 5'8". I'm not tall.
Well, no, dude, you are you're 5'8". You are the average height, according to, I can't remember where the statistic was, but 5'8" is the height for an average American man.
Yeah. I guess I hang out with tall people because I always feel like I'm the shortest in the room, except for at home, of course, with my wife and 2 cats. There, sure. I'm the green giant.
There, you're the one who reaches high shelves and opens pickle jars.
I can get that off the top shelf, which I can. My 5'8" allows me to. I'm pretty proud by that.
Yeah,
I can get stuff out of the top shelf above the stove. Yes, I can.
Absolutely. Palm a basketball?
Yeah.
I can't even do that. And I can palm some basketballs.
Yeah,
but not all.
Well, and you know what? Here's Here's a quagmire I deal with sometimes. Or not quagmire, a quandary. I apologize. A quandary. Wrong use of word. Sure. I have a quandary that on occasion, my wife needs things from the top shelf. Mm-hmm. And she's an independent woman. She will not ask me to do these things. She just starts doing it, sometimes struggling. I'm like, what are you doing? Let me do that. Right. That's kind of how. Mm-hmm. And that world is one of those where it happens. Because I've many times I'll be sitting there, and in a way, we have an open, so like I'm in the living room, she's in the kitchen, we're in the same room.
You can still see there's direct line of
we're all
sight.
right there. It's an open air floor plan, whatever you want to call that. So I'll be there watching TV or whatever, and then she's trying to get a cup or a can or something off a taller shelf. Mm-hmm. She'll go into the drawer and grab her tongs and start doing that kind of stuff.
I was going to say, does she have like a grabber hand, grabber arm?
Well, she does, and she doesn't use that. Okay. It got put away. I remember getting that. She has a step stool that on occasion she'll grab. Okay. But a lot of times she'll grab like the tongs, like the ones you flip your chicken or whatever with, and go grab whatever she needs with that out of the thing. And I'm like, and so the quandary is, do I get up to let her do it, or is that like mansplaining things, or should I let, I don't know. You never know. Where am I being polite versus where am I being just
right? Where are you stepping on her and just being like,
and I don't know where the line is there, where I'm being chivalrous versus being, stop using the tongs, let me grab it,
But I think that there's also a level of self-satisfaction in her solving her own problems.
Yeah, I get that. And I don't want to step on those toes.
Here's the thing. In her act of reaching into the drawer, pulling out the tongs, and achieving what she's after, she is exhibiting what makes us different from animals. Our ability to use tools.
Sure.
Yes. So she's actually advancing our species.
Although I watched the Jane Goodall thing about the apes and the gorillas, and they use tools too.
Yeah, but shut up for a minute, because we're not talking about them.
They use little straws to pick lice out of their neighbors' gorillas.
And actually, other animals have been known to use tools. That's kind of not the point. Point is, that's sort of the advancement of civilization. And there's a level of pride in that. And I would understand you don't want to take that away from her. Same time, your mindset is, well, does she want me to?
I know.
Does she want me to step up? And
it's a slippery slope.
But at the same time, I would think, and this is the same thing I tell my daughter is, I'm not a mind reader. If you need something, you need to ask me for it.
I wish I had that macrame on a picture.
Oh, so what you need to do?
Because I said that 1,000 times.
And she might be into this because she's a teacher. You guys need a rules list on your wall. Let her decide the first one. That's the most important thing. Give her the freedom to decide the first one. But then give her 4 or 5 rules. And then just lay them out. And then you can always refer back.
I feel like this is not sage advice.
Let's rule number 4. Always ask first. Okay, then.
Yeah. I feel like this will not get me into a bigger hole.
Sometimes people just need a gentle reminder. And if she's up there like, always ask first. Mike?
And in all fairness, she does ask sometimes.
Sure.
Like if it's a mixing bowl that she can't get to.
Sorry, but the visual of Kim just trying to jump up to get that's pretty funny.
Because like one of our drawers has the glass mixing bowls that we use, and it's in a middle shelf. So she can, in theory, grab one, but if she needs one of the bowls that's in the stack of bowls, she doesn't have the height to grab all of the bowls to bring them down, pull the one out the middle, and then put it back up there. So I'm in. And she does ask me for those. Sure. That's usually the only one she asks me
And that's
for.
a lot more intricate. That's more intricate than I need a glass, so I'm going to use these tongs. That requires more than 1 or 2 steps. At that point, she could use a hand. Yeah. But you're allowing her the freedom, to solve her own problem. And I admire that. Yeah. But here's my thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, and this is something that you guys' house is specifically designed for this. It's not, your shelving is not too high up. Like, you don't have stuff that's too high.
Hence the reason I can reach all of it.
Right. Because of, both of y'all's median height. Yeah. It always makes me laugh. I feel like Gandalf when I have to duck my head to get under the beam to get near your house. It's like I'm walking into the Shire.
It is a little Shire-like, yeah.
Like Gandalf walking into his friggin' name just left my head.
Yeah,
Frodo's house.
My front door's awning. It's got a little jetting out little awning that's tiled up. But yeah, it's kind of low at the lowest point because it angles down. It starts high and then angles down as in front of the door there.
Right.
But you're right. I think it's like 6 foot.
Yeah, and I don't think about being tall.
Or 6.5 feet. I don't know what it is, but
I don't think about being a tall person very often. Like I figure I'm relatively average in height. I see guys all the time that are way taller than me, so I don't think about myself as being super tall until I'm, in
my world,
reach situations like this where I'm like, oh yeah, I
kind of am
this
tall.
is a whole new realm here, huh?
Yeah. I got to be honest. I don't know how tall people sleep on beds sometimes.
It's tough.
Because I'm 5'8", and I have no problems, but I'm one of those guys that sometimes my feet hang out. Like if I sleep low and then my feet are hanging, I'm like, if I was 6 foot, this would be like every night.
I think bed design is stupid.
Yeah.
Because I have a full size.
Yeah.
It's just for me, and Hunter when the kids are there.
Yeah.
So I don't need much bed. But it feels like when I had a twin, it was longer. It feels like and I might be wrong on this, but it feels like a full size is shorter than a twin was.
Maybe
I'm just longer now than the last time I slept on a twin. But yeah, I deal with that all the time. Is the feet hanging off?
Maybe.
Or even worse, I'm one of those guys that when I sleep, I like to tuck the covers under my feet to kind of like make like a papoose. For my feet.
All right.
That's hard to do when you have a normal size blanket because to do that, I have to lose blanket up here. I'm a side sleeper, so it's one of those. I like to have it up on the shoulder. It's complicated.
Yeah.
So what I have to do to make up, I have to sleep with my blanket diagonally, like it's offset, so that the one corner will be down there for my feet, and one corner will be up here for my shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah. So just like your wife with tongs, us tall people have to come up with our own modern solutions for modern problems.
You know what? I never thought of it that way.
There you go. We're all overcoming, Mike. That's the point.
I see your struggle.
That's right. We're all pushing our own boulders.
We speak your name.
We speak your name. Oh, that's funny. We speak your names.
It's just like, man, we're getting a little Oprah here.
The struggle is real. That's all.
I never thought, but I did one time. I was like, how do tall people deal with this? Because I fit comfortably.
Now, in fairness, I do sleep generally in a fetal position. Like I sleep kind of knees tucked.
So you kind of ball up. Anyway.
Not necessarily ball, but I tuck my knees a bit.
Okay.
So yeah, that's and I'm always on my side. I can very rarely sleep on my back, and I cannot get comfortable on my stomach.
Oh, I'm on all of the above.
Because of how I'm built,
it
gives me serious pain in my spine when I'm on my stomach.
The memory foam with the creating less disturbance for your partner was a game changer for my world and ours, because I'm a flopper. I start on my back, I flip on my side, I'll sleep on my stomach, I'll go back to the other side. Lord knows what position I'll end up in when I wake up in the morning. I move around a lot.
And I'll tell you the game changer for us, because it wasn't necessarily the bed. It was separate blankets. That's a game changer, because no matter how much you toss and turn, you're not jostling her covers.
That's true. And my wife is a tuck and roller with the covers. And what I mean what I mean by that is she'll get the blanket, and then she'll put her arms above the blanket and then tuck it under her arms and then roll on her side.
And she goes,
the blankets.
She goes the other way of the blanket.
She turns the opposite direction. And the next thing you know, my nipple's exposed.
Yeah. Is that a draft?
It's cold in here. Pull it back up.
Right. All of a sudden, I feel like I can cut glass.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's way more about us than you ever wanted to know, folks.
My wife uses tongue. Yeah, this is the reason why my wife gets mad at me sometimes. Like, why do you tell the whole story about where our life is? Like, I got 3 hours.
It's content. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just this is. And I told
married a DJ. What
my kid's mom that at the time. I'm like, your life is kind of going to be on blast if this is what we do. But it's okay because we know how to spin it.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's what we tell ourselves to let us get to sleep at night.
So you all think they're charming, right?
Right.
All right.
We're adorable. We're precocious, us.
That's
scamps.
right. We're just a bunch of scamps. Just a bunch of scamps. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I want scampi.
Shrimp scampi. Scrimp. Anyway. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then about 5-10 minutes or so, we're going to have folks from the Roswell Refuge join us here, and then we'll get an update from them. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety along with your business updates and all that good stuff. So before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. Bob Reed Pest Control. Protect your home from pests that invade. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today, 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warming up over the next couple of days. We'll start off with a few clouds today and then going up to 90 by afternoon. Wind at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Sunny for the afternoon hours and then clear tonight. Breezy and down to the low 50s and then sunshine and upper 80s on Thursday. We'll hit the mid 90s with sunny skies on Friday. Sunny and hot for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 20% with winds out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at noon today, and that will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening because, well, it's going to be windy and hot. That's what we do. Actually, highs near 90 today under mostly cloudy skies this morning. Gradually, this will burn off and the sun will come out. But looking at highs right around 90, 89 officially. Winds going to be breezy out of the southwest, 10 to 15 this morning, picking up 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour later today. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 50. West winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 out of the northwest after midnight tonight. Thursday, sunny, 87 for a high. West winds 10 to 15. Friday, sunny, hot, 97 for a high with northwest winds 5 to 15. Then the weekend, warm and windy. We're going to be living in a big, hot air dryer, kind of like that big air dryer at the salon that the beehive thing stick in. That's going to be this weekend because Saturday, sunny, hot, highs near 101 and breezy. And then Sunday, sunny and hot, 98 for a high, breezy as well there too. So that's what we're looking at as far as weather goes next few days here. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to talk with the Roswell Refuge on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hear the call of the wild this summer with summer camp at the Spring River Zoo with camps for kids age 4 through 17 and 7 weekly camps offered in June and July. Camp topics include predators and prey, camouflage, zookeeper roles, and zoo research. Lunch and snacks are provided daily and all kids get a camp t-shirt. Space is limited. Sign-ups are on now. Find more details on each camp at springriverzoo.com and register your kid's spot now through roswellconnect.com. Go wild this summer with summer camps at the Spring River Zoo, 1306 East College.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Have you ever thought, Mom and Dad are beginning to need more help, but with a busy job and raising a family, you just don't have the extra time? Personal Care by Design is just what you're looking for. We can be there when you can't, from 1 hour a day to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All of our caregivers are carefully screened, and we are the only personal care service that is overseen by a registered nurse. Competitive rates, great people, and experience is what sets us apart. So when you need extra help at home with your loved one, you can count on Personal Care by Design. Personal, private, and protected. Call us at 575-625-9471 for your personal care needs and receive a free nursing evaluation. That number again is 575-625-9471.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, we're getting close to summer and hotter weather. It's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:25, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Refuge, we have Leslie Cura back with us and Valerie Ward as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
In unison. Love it.
Yeah.
They even delayed in unison. That was neat. It was like a second pause, and they both did it. That's impressive. That's next level in unison. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing well.
Good. Well. For folks that aren't familiar, the Roswell Refuge is a great organization. They help victims of domestic violence here in Chavez County, and that's what they do. They have the home that is a place for victims if they choose to break away from their domestic violence situations. They can come and live there until they get back on their feet. And so they really work with these victims. On top of that, also work with the offenders and try to break the cycle that way. And they partner with the SANE program, which they deal with victims of sexual assault. So that's part of the umbrella of the refuge as well, too. So if someone's been sexually assaulted or raped, these individuals go in and help the victim medically as much as possible. And if the victim wants to pursue legal, collecting evidence and helping them navigate through it. But they do it all in a way to help the victim as much as possible deal with that traumatic situation. So it's tough business, but what goes on at the refuge is invaluable to the people in our community here. So, but they have some fun doing it. Now, I mean, we'll be talking, it's a lot of this, but they have fun doing it. They turn that home into a family environment and try to make it as much as a place of welcoming and a place of safe and a place of home as much as possible. They want to make it a home. That's why we call the refuge home a home, because that's what they want to make it. And so the people that come here live there sometimes. What's the average? About a month, 6 months? What's about 3 months on average is generally the average person's time there. And they get to get back on their feet and get established again. If there's legal issues, you guys kind of help them navigate through that. If it's, finding them a job, finding them a place to live, finding them clothing and things like that's what the refuge does. So
Yep, and we are blessed and happy that we can do it.
Well, and here's the thing, and when she says blessed, we're blessed because we have a great community, and the refuge could not do what it does. I got a feeling the doors would have closed years ago if it weren't for the generosity of the public. People constantly coming, volunteering to do work at the home, donating of money, of food, of clothing, of furniture, of toiletries, of just the basics of what people need to survive and live in this world. And without those generous things, you guys couldn't do it. I mean, you guys get some help, grants and, through various entities and things, but that that kind of covers programs, and that kind of covers, some of the things you need to do, but it doesn't cover the heart side of things per se. And
Right.
is that pretty fair assessment, I guess, of that? It
is. And unfortunately, just like every other business out there today, and federally funded, state funded programs have lost money. There's cuts been, we've lost several grants over the last few years that we used to have available to us that aren't anymore. So
the well's drying up a little bit on some of those.
Years have been a bit of a struggle. It's definitely the community helps us a lot, but we understand too that everybody's pockets were hit hard.
Yeah.
So, the contributions that used to come in 5, 6, 10 years ago
aren't as prevalent.
Certainly don't come in like they used to, because everybody feels the hit.
Absolutely. Yeah. When COVID is hurt a lot of things, and we're still dealing with some of the ancillary results of that, and unfortunately, that's one of them. Is the people that were stalwarts? They can't give as much now because, well,
they don't have it.
Exactly. You can only give what you have.
That's right.
And so. So I almost think the smaller gestures are much more important nowadays. When someone comes by and says, and this is great. We have restaurants that be like, hey, we got extra food from the night. Can your home use this? And next thing you know, that's the kind of stuff that's saving lives. Believe it or not. I know it seems kind of small and trivial. It's like, oh, you just brought a meal by, but that's the mindset changing from people thinking there's no hope to, you know what, people do care, and there is hope, and there is,
having hope in humanity is like it's a healing.
I mean, you see this, Valerie, all the time. That's probably your biggest breakthrough, is when people are being generous, and it kind of peels away the armor for some of your victims that are calling it home right now, and allowing them to maybe get back on a path of feeling like a normal human being again.
Make them a little more comfortable so they actually have the time to process what they're going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know, Leslie, we've said this 100 times on here, because it's just natural. When you're a victim of domestic violence, or a victim, or, of any of that kind of thing, whether, even if it's an addict in some same semblance, it's the same kind of shared defense mechanisms there. You build walls. You try to, if I'm getting abuse and stuff, I've got to protect me. And so part of that building the wall is lack of trust, lack of putting yourself out there, being very introverted, and just don't make a wave, therefore I can't get hit. You know what I mean? Is that what I'm saying here? And so they don't trust anybody. They think they have a mindset of people are bad. People are not good. And you've got to change that mindset. So when somebody shows up at the home and says, "We brought you lasagna." Oh, here's a bunch of toys for the kids for birthday parties or whatever. Oh, here, you know what? You guys need towels. You guys, here's family-sized bottles. Here's a 20-pack of shampoo. Here, that's the kind of stuff they're like, what do you mean people just give that because they want to? And it really does. Why would they do that? And I know you've talked about it, Leslie, several times, where people they get this stuff and they break down crying because they don't understand why they do it. And then when they realize it's just because they're nice, they're like, oh my goodness, maybe they're, that's a real thing. And people, and that's part of the treatment for you guys. And so when you guys help out, the physical stuff is great, and it's very and much needed. But it's almost that mindset of you being a human being to these people breaks down the walls and is more for their healing and recovery than sometimes that tube of toothpaste you donate.
It is. And in the staff, Valerie, the staff, we actually have quite a few new staff members that have joined us over the last year, I would say, and really worked hard to refresh the shelter, kind of get it back on track. COVID did hit us hard.
Sure.
We weren't able to take clients in that we wanted, we had to turn away, or clients themselves weren't wanting to come into congregate
Sure, they didn't feel safe because of COVID. Absolutely,
And so really, they've worked so hard. They're just such an incredible team over there that, we've all been working so hard to really make some positive changes, get on a track we need to be on, focusing back on really helping our victims with that, get into that mindset of, we are here to help you. We're going to get you through this. We're going to give you some tools. and really help you get on your feet so you don't have to go back into that cycle of violence.
And
again.
that's why the Roswell Refuge is amazing. And this is why I want people to help as much as possible, because regardless of the world we live in, regardless of the situations we're in, you guys are all about bringing happiness and healing to these people. And it doesn't matter how bad times are. It doesn't matter if there's no money. It doesn't matter if none of that's happening. You and your staff are going to go and do whatever they can to help them. If there's no food to be had, then we're going to figure something out. We're going to do it. If there's no money coming in, we'll start patching holes in this to fix it, to get to buy until we can. That's the mindset that's going on there, and that's love. It's all a labor of love, and at the end of the day, if that's there's not COVID. There's nothing on the planet that's going to stop that, in my opinion. I mean, if you've got people that are that committed and are going to make sure that they give an opportunity to everyone that wants it in there, yes, you can dry up on the toilet paper and all that. That one doesn't come in. We'll figure it out.
Right.
We don't want to have that problem, but we'll find a way. But so make it easier on these folks. Just if you can, make a donation. If it's monetary, awesome. If you're thinking, you know what, I've got a bunch of bedding that is sitting in a linen closet, because if you're like my wife and you buy a new bed set every 6 months and you've only had one bed, you know what I mean?
Right.
You tend to build up on those.
And I think
donate some of that.
I think Valerie had a few things that I know that we're in need of right now that we started kind of running low on.
A few things that we can always use are bath towels, pajamas of all sizes for children and adults.
Okay.
And just the basic comforts, like the blanket sets, the sheet sets are of course always appreciated.
Yeah. The things you like, they like too.
Right.
You're like, well, that feels soft. Guess what? They're gonna like that too.
Bath mats would be fabulous.
A godsend.
We have, just
Get those good
just
ones
that
with
little
the little
comfort of
with the little
home when
pushy,
you get out.
The plushy give. I love those. Like I got one in my bathroom, and every time I get out of the shower or whatever, I'm like, why can't they make like shoes and everything out of this
exactly.
stuff?
Those are great.
Like all of life out of this stuff.
And canned goods are always welcome too. Pretty much
all donations are always
Absolutely.
appreciated.
Those the kinds of things that people take with them when they leave, though, like towels,
pajamas,
those kinds of
toiletries.
Things are things we need.
Bedding,
replenishing.
Sometimes when they arrive, they have nothing but the clothes on their back.
Yeah, sometimes a child in tow.
If we can get them a comfortable set of PJs, a pair of slippers, at least for the night, so they can get a decent night's sleep, and then we also have the thrift store, which helps them as well.
And that's another way folks can help out here. If you've got items that are perfectly great, donate them to the thrift store, because the thrift store that works in many different ways. It works because it's a place. If some of the residents of the home, when they go out on their own, if they need things to get started, coffee pots and bedding, whatever it is, the stuff to live life, they get to shop spree through there and say, use this to get your new place up and going here. And so there's that. But then there's stuff that they don't need and things, so they sell that, and the public comes in, buys it pennies on the dollar, and all of that money goes back into the programs and needs of the refuge. And they can use that money, and that's money that's not really earmarked for something specific, so it's kind of a catch-all. Because a lot of times, for folks that don't know, when they do get grant monies and things, like any time free money comes, there's always strings. There's a big string. Some have more strings than others, but so it kind of limits on what they can do without that specific money. And if it's like, well, great, we got this money, it's for a program, but I need money to buy groceries.
We're very, very regulated by what we can and can't spend our money on through our grants.
And so by utilizing the thrift store, donating, shopping, all of that, you're actually helping support them financially in a way that gives them the freedom to, if there is an issue, emergency, or just a program we want to create that other funding doesn't a lot for, we can do it with this money here.
Our thrift store we've been on a hold as far as taking donations since COVID, clothing donations.
Okay.
And I believe that we will be accepting all donations again come May 15th.
Okay, so coming here in a few weeks.
So a couple weeks.
Call ahead if you're thinking and you're listening. Say, I've got some stuff here before. Call ahead. Is Kay on the case?
Kay's on the case.
Kay's on the case.
And if you have any larger items that you'd like to donate us, please just call us ahead because we don't have a ton of space to store things, but we've actually worked on it. We do have a storage unit now that we're able to use, and hopefully we're looking, maybe somebody would donate us a storage unit maybe for a year as well.
Hint, anybody out there want to help out? That's
another
a great way to do
storage
it.
unit.
Yeah.
So that we are able to take some larger items. We get a lot of calls for it, which would be great to have at our disposal when people are moving out. That we'd be able to set them up with the basics that they would need as far as a table and a couch and a bed, beds are always needed if they are very good condition or new. I mean, of course.
Well, mattresses are one of those things. They're kind of like clothing sometimes.
Just kind of
they have a shelf life.
Yes, and the clothing, we appreciate all the donations everybody brings us, but please do remember that the clothing does need to be in pretty good condition. Otherwise, we're not able to. We certainly wouldn't want to give our clients something or have available to our clients something you wouldn't wear yourself.
Sure. And this is something that, and really all nonprofits that do collect items like this deal with this. And we do appreciate people donating clothing and things like that. But sometimes folks go through and just start clearing out sections of clothing, and you're like, look, there's some shirts and things in there that shelf life is done.
Yes, you wouldn't believe some of the things that we find.
That's holy and not in a religious way. All right, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, it actually by you not being more selective about what you put in the bags to donate, you're actually costing the nonprofit more money because now they got to pay fees to get rid of that stuff to the dump or whatever it is. So even though your heart's in the right place, you're actually doing more harm than good by doing that. So please, when you do donate clothing and stuff, if it's something you wouldn't still wear, even if, put it this way, I know there's a lot of clothing you're like, I'd love to wear, but that stuff shrunk on me. If it's like that, then great. But if it's something you've been wearing for 20 years and it looks like you've been wearing for 20 years, maybe it's time to retire that one instead of donating.
Yes.
Or put it in your, that's my Sunday pants or whatever it is you.
But 90% of the time, I mean, for the most part, people are very generous with what they give us, and they're aware of that.
Yeah.
So
we just want to throw that reminder out there. But really, and all of this stuff is used right away. That's the thing with the refuge, because like Valerie was saying earlier, literally they come in with the clothes on their back, sometimes a kid in tow with the clothes on his or her back, and then that's it. And so you guys have to, all right, well, let's get you a bed, let's get you a change of clothes, let's get you some toiletries, let's get you the comforts we need to
and a safe place
to take care of it, and a safe place to get some sleep and get rested. And then once you're secure, safe, cleaned up, happy and healthy, then we'll start the process of healing.
Right.
Yep. And that's what's going on. So by you donating the shampoos and the towels and the sheets and the pajamas and don't forget toys too. I know we're kind of in not like Christmas, and we're not really in that season yet.
It'll be here before we know it.
But they do birthday parties and Christmas celebrations and Easter and 4th of July will be coming up. They'll have some kind of celebration in the home for all that. And so if you'd like to donate new toys for kids.
Yeah.
We actually have started a new little program. When someone does come in with a child, we make sure they get a toy immediately, a stuffed animal, so they have just a little creature comfort.
Well, it's kind of like a calling card for a kid. The kid comes in there like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Here's a toy. Oh, this place is cool. They're giving me toys.
And it's really, it's really difficult for a lot of, for all the children, I'm sure, that come into the shelter depending on their age, because many, many, many of them are school-age kids.
Sure.
And, that has now become their reality.
Sure. And they know. They know what's going on in some of those age. You know what I mean? They may not know all the details, but they hear the arguments. They hear what's going on, and they have a semblance of what's going on.
Video games are great donations for the a little bit older kids.
So not just toddler toys. Let's get some toys at 12, 13-year-olds that appreciate as well. Boys and
we
girls.
take, all ages, all ages.
Well, a kid's a kid, and if a domestic violence situation happens and they have a child that's 17, guess what? The child's still a child at 17.
Trauma.
Exactly. It's not. And to be honest, I'm guessing when they're at that age, I imagine there's probably 2 victims in that room at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here. And so, folks, for you, the public, the best thing you can do is 2 things here. One is donate if you can. If you can, whatever it is. If it's a couple of dollars, or maybe, hey, every time you go to the grocery store, grabbing 3 or 4 more cans of food and to donate to the whatever it is. Any little bit helps. But the other thing we also want to put out there is be vigilant when you see domestic violence things happening. If you're in a store and you see argument or something, when you see it, it's like you get a feeling like that don't seem right. Don't play that's none of my business anymore. Yeah. I'm not saying you need to jump in and break it up. Don't do that, because that could hurt yourself.
Make an anonymous call.
But report it. Talk to a store manager. Talk to a law enforcement. Let someone go and investigate that situation. And if there's nothing going on, they're going to determine that. But
and
if there is,
and it can always be anonymous, like Val just said. You never have to put your name out there, but you could save a life. I think one of our favorite ads and billboards we've had was, which we were still using, is, domestic violence should never be a private matter, or is never a private matter. And we all have to make it our...
Absolutely. And I understand. We live in a country, live in a world where people are like, mind your own business, and I'm all for that for the most part, because that's a good. But when something isn't right, that's when you need to stand up. That's what decent human beings do. And let's face it, I know, and like Valerie's saying, don't get involved directly, but call anonymously, report it to somebody. Doing nothing is the worst thing you can do. Even if you don't feel comfortable per se saying or fine, just go say, look, do you mind taking a look? That something don't seem right. They've been arguing back and forth. I don't know if it's going to escalate. I don't know what it is, but can someone find out what's going on? And that's all you got to do. Yeah. And that's you're doing your part there. And if it's something longer, maybe it's other family members, and you're domestic violence lurks in the shadows. The only way it goes away is when you put light on it. And so if there's maybe family stuff, maybe I got a cousin, whatever it is, there's weird stuff. Don't just sit idly by and say, that's not my business. Do something. I'm not saying, if nothing else, reach out to that person, say there's help. Please call these numbers. Yeah, give them options, at least, if nothing else.
And in our, we don't speak a lot about our offender program. Lauren comes on and we do, but I would like to just remind everybody that our offender program, for the most part, people come because the courts make them come, order them to come. However, it is available to the public at a free of no cost at all. And if you're feeling maybe that you recognize that you're starting to experience worse behavior, or, you're feeling more aggressive or getting more angry, our program can really benefit anybody who might be able to utilize it. And we do offer, like I said, the most part, when it's court ordered, it's 52 weeks, once a week. But we do have a 26-week, or Lauren could certainly work with anybody who just feels they need to come and maybe take some classes and get some tools and learn some skills to cope with anger.
Absolutely.
And it's really escalated a little bit. We've seen a rise in the cases and clients that have come back into shelter. And
the world we live in is a more toxic,
everybody is just
tension-laden world,
a lot more tension,
and that's spilling into homes and things too. And but you're right; it's never a wrong decision to do things to better yourself. So, and the offender program is amazing. And here's the part I want people to understand: this is where you as a human need to stop judging, because those people in the offender program, it's a cycle. Odds are, people that are abusers, the stats are there. They were probably abused as when they were younger themselves, too.
Or witness.
I'm not defending abuse per se, but what I'm saying is, if that's all you know, and then no one's taught you different, you just need to be taught different.
It's certainly a cycle.
And there are tools available.
Yeah.
So you can
and
live
that's why
peaceful
this offender program can help with them and say, you know what you were taught is wrong. this is why, and so these individuals can go, and especially ones that do it on their own, that said, you know what, so maybe if you're a victim yourself, maybe you need to check out this. Even if you haven't done anything, I hate to tell you, the recipe's there.
Right.
It's just, it is. It's kind of like if you have a family of alcoholics that have dependency issues, you're probably more likely to fall in that category. You're going to need to be a little more vigilant on it. Right. Same thing with someone a victim of domestic abuse. You've been in the system. You've been dealing with this your whole life. It's easy for you to fall in that same trap of being, now that you're an adult, now that you're not answering to someone, it's just as easier for you to become the tyrant at that point. You're like, it's my world. I'm finally broke free. You're going to do it my way or the highway. And that's, I'm thinking that's the rationale that goes on.
A lot of offenders that we see come through our program, especially the ones that aren't necessarily physical. There hasn't been physical abuse, but the abuse is still there many other ways, as we know.
Sure, emotional or
but
verbal.
Those will be a lot of the clients that will recognize, will see that won't even, once they start the program a couple weeks in, they'll be like, I didn't even know what I was doing was abuse. I didn't even know this was a thing.
It didn't seem toxic to them until, yeah.
Why am I here? I shouldn't even be here. I've never hit her. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. And then, a couple weeks in, and once you start learning about the cycle of abuse and all the different things that really do fall under abusive behavior, the light kind of comes on, and they're like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing. My grandparents acted that way. My parents acted that way, and then they're able to get the tools to turn that cycle around and really learn how to kind of come out of that.
It's called growth. It's evolving. That's what, and to be honest.
And it's a great program.
To be honest, when that person was a victim through it, they may not have looked at that as, you know what I mean? Like, because
that was their norm.
Sure. Right. But even society, just 40 years ago, it's kind of, it's like, I will draw suicide as a comparison here. 30 years ago, someone committed suicide, you looked at them like they committed a crime against people. You know what I mean? Like, it was looked at like, oh, that's never the answer. You almost blame them for doing it. Now we obviously see it's way different. We look and it's like, no, this is not
mental
you know what I mean? We
issue.
And I think domestic violence is the same thing. The causes and why we do what we do and all that. It's all the same story to me as suicide and all. It's the same.
And we just have such little mental health care, available, and unfortunately, kind of due to where we live and what's available out there, I know the people that are our mental health agents here work diligently and very hard, and they're so overwhelmed that they can't help everybody, unfortunately. But it's an awareness that all these issues fall back into a mental health category, and we need programs out there that can help, and many more programs than we have.
I got to be honest, and I've just all the time. I've said on this radio show, we need to Susan G. Komen mental health is what we need to do. We need to do what they've done for breast cancer research with the Susan G. Komen and raising awareness, and now everyone's synonymous with pink in October, and it's just, we need to do the same thing with mental health.
Right.
We need to.
I'll take some.
Yeah, we need to.
We do definitely
do walks, do things, just all of this, and raise bazillions of dollars for the mental health industry so we can play catch up with the rest of the medical world in mental health, because that's our problem. We've treated mental health like a stigma for so much of humanity,
and it all falls under mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, all the different things and ailments that people have basically come down back to mental health. And
to quote Matt Damon in The Martian, we need to science the feces out of mental health now.
That's a good one. I like the movie too. I do.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And another thing, really quick, just touching on restraining orders. We've had a lot of big increase in people coming in asking for restraining orders lately, and once again, I have to go back because we hate to act like we're not helping when somebody comes in asking for a restraining order. But the criteria for temporary restraining orders in Chavez County are very, very strict. And it is 100% domestic violence related.
Okay.
It has to be intimate partner, immediate family.
Okay.
Some type of a familial relationship or or intimate partner relationship.
Or it doesn't qualify.
Or it does not qualify. And I know people are being told when they go to the police station, not that it's their fault either, or go other places.
There's
that
a lot of
just
miscommunication
go
out
down
there.
and get a restraining order because your neighbor won't stop throwing rocks at your house.
And that may be a lack of education where people don't know that.
It just isn't going to happen. And it ties up our time. It ties up, the courts aren't even going to hear it. So, you know, I know it's a difficult thing to wrap your head around when somebody's attacking you or somebody's threatening you.
Sure.
And that you can't get a restraining order and that we're not going to be able to assist you in that. But as of right now, we can't. I mean, there's just not civil restraining orders in Chop that I know of. If I'm speaking wrong, somebody call me and let me know. But
gotcha. And it's a slippery slope,
as far as I know, there
too.
isn't.
It really
we
is.
strictly only assist with domestic violence related restraining orders, and that has to be one of those categories.
So if it's anything other than that, then the refuge cannot help you, unfortunately. However, if it is domestic violence, if it's a family member, I kept trying to combine words. A member of the family. I was trying to get all Italian.
Anybody that you've had a relationship with.
Then you qualify, and please come on down.
And living in your home too. If you live in the same home, that can qualify as well.
Okay. I'm assuming someone has to move out once you get a restraining order for someone living in your home, right?
That's a really, really big issue.
I don't know. I'm just thinking how it's kind of hard to keep distance from someone that you're living in a home with. Are you stay in the bathroom? You stay in the.
Really,
how are you gonna work that out?
If both people have equal rights to that living space, it basically is going to be up to the judge pretty much to just say. But I can tell you, a lot of people in domestic violence type situations, they won't leave the situation because they don't want to leave the home. And then the other person who's, doing the violence, the offender, is the same. Well, I'm not going anywhere, and I know you're not going anywhere. So it just sticks there and happens. Somebody does have to leave the house.
The power struggle continues. Yeah.
Whether the judge is going to order it to be one side or the other, if you're not safe, you need to leave your house.
And
it's
again,
a house.
And it's going back to that mental health, because people are like, well, why didn't the victim just leave? Well, that's wonderful, except for if that's their support system, that if they have no means to take care of themselves other than living in that house, then guess what? They're saying, well, I guess I'm going to deal with the abuse because it's either that or I'm out in the cold. And so they pick what in their brain is the lesser of two evils.
And a lot of people won't leave due to their animals. We will certainly work with anybody that has animals, whether we can take them in. We also have access to other organizations that help us with that. Cool. I know that
CARE and Red Rover.
Good deal.
Or help us get.
So again, it's about that support thing, and that's what you guys do. What you can't do direct, you partner with and try to find solutions
many
for
other
the people
agencies,
that do.
Right?
We do have to get creative sometimes.
And we'll reach if you have large animals. One time, I know we had a client that wanted to come in but had horses, and the victim was threatening to kill all the horses the minute she left. And so we worked with somebody that was able to go in and literally get the horses and take them out in the night. I mean, go get the horses, but that gave her the opportunity to come into shelter and
and you all made that happen. And that's
so
that's why the refuge is awesome. When I said at the beginning, because no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how much they don't have, best. They're going to do whatever they can to help a victim of domestic violence.
And with donations, I'd like to thank Los Pasitos, because they actually did a purse drive for us that they're coming today at 1:00 to bring us purses that are filled with all kinds of useful items for us to share with our
that's so nice.
Clients in shelter. And I believe I was told they're bringing about 50 purses or something. So that's just amazing.
Awesome. Thank you to Los Pasitos.
Thank you very much.
While they're out doing their free stuff.
And I think Pizza Hut donates to us weekly. And, everybody that does, if I forget to mention you, thank you so much. And, it's always appreciated.
And we know why you do it. You do it not for the thank yous. You do it because you care about people, and we appreciate that. And we do thank you for that.
And we're participating right now in the Maze for Life, which is going on down at the college for all the 8th grade students. And so that's always a great thing. We're happy that it came back after COVID.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to start seeing some things come back.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Fundraising will be coming back, and we'll hope to have our 70s dance. I'm going to shoot for October.
Bust out the bell bond. Don't put them away yet. Keep them handy.
Bell bottoms out. We usually do it in April, but unfortunately we couldn't get it done for April. So I'd like to maybe do it in
That's
October if possible, but
70s fashions look better in the fall anyway.
they do. But we will be having some things coming up, so we'll definitely keep everybody posted on some smaller things. I think we're going to do an enchilada dinner soon, maybe a pancake breakfast soon.
Nice. Good deal. We'll be on the lookout, and of course, as it all comes in, we'll be happy to let folks know. 2 numbers want to give out real quick. One, if anybody has any questions, business-related, donations, all of that, give the office number to the Roswell Refuge.
It's 575-624-3222.
And then if you are a victim of domestic violence, if you're suspecting domestic violence, there is a 24/7 hotline for you to call. Anonymous, and again, it's all based on you, based on how much you want to do. If you want to break out that day, they'll help you. If you just want an ear to bend for some time, they can do that too. Give out that number. And again, this is anonymous. The people that answer that aren't even here. They're somewhere else. It's all safe. It's a safe, secure number for you to call.
And it's 575-627-8361.
Very good. Call that number if you have any questions.
And that's our shelter number as well. If you need to be, you need to get into shelter, that'd be the number you would call first as well, and be connected with one of our advocates that would, talk with you and see your situation. And if you're in need of shelter, definitely get you in as quickly as we can. And
it's your first step to recovery. And whether you want to just talk or you're ready to dive in fully, that number's there for you. So, good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time. And of course, if we need more time, if something happens in between then, magically something happens, like, all right, we can start doing more stuff right now. Let's gangbusters out. We could love to have you back.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
Have a good day.
You do the same. It is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Credit cards, home equity lines of credit, private student loans, those rates will step higher in concert with the Federal Reserve.
And right now, stocks are mixed on Wall Street. Former President Trump batting 1,000. He endorsed almost 24 candidates in the Republican primaries in Ohio and Indiana, and every one of those candidates won yesterday, and that includes in Ohio, where U.S. Senate candidate J.D. Vance defeated a half-dozen challengers.
Thanks to the president for everything, for endorsing me. And I got to say, a lot of the fake news media out there, and there are some good ones in the back there. There's some bad ones too, let's be honest. But they wanted to write a story that this campaign would be the death of Donald Trump's America First agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, it ain't the death of the America First agenda.
Vance will face Democrat Congressman Tim Ryan in November, competing for the Senate seat held by retiring GOP Senator Rob Portman. Outraged by what he calls a betrayal, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts directing the marshal of the court to investigate the leak of a draft opinion. While acknowledging the draft was authentic, Robert writes it does not represent a decision by the court or the final position of any member on the issues in the case. Roberts insists the leak will not affect the court's operations. And watching Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 32 points, while the Nasdaq is down 158, and the S&P 14 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A man convicted of killing the grandparents of a friend during a 1996 robbery has been put to death in Missouri.
56-year-old Carmen Deck's hopes for a reprieve from an execution were dashed on Monday when his appeal was turned aside by the U.S. Supreme Court, and Missouri Governor Mike Parson declined his request for clemency. Deck knew his victims, James and Zelma Long, a DeSoto, Missouri couple in their late 60s, and told the detective he wasn't surprised that they invited him inside. Court records say Deck robbed the couple at gunpoint and then deliberated for 10 minutes before shooting them both in the back of the head. His death sentence was overturned 3 times between 1998 and 2017 over procedural issues, but restored in 2020 by the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Deck died by lethal injection at the state prison in Bonne Terre and was pronounced at 6:10 p.m. Central Time. He was the 5th inmate executed in the U.S. this year. I'm Jennifer King.
News and analysis at townhall.com. When traveling abroad, people often bring home all kinds of souvenirs, but this, well, could be a bit much.
Most of the time, the souvenirs are okay. But if you show up at an airport with an artillery shell, be ready for a little resistance. That's what one American family learned when they tried to leave with an unexploded shell they found in the Golan Heights. Passengers ran and screamed as airport authorities sounded the alarm when they spotted the shell. Things did calm down once the shell was removed. One person was injured when he attempted to run on a conveyor belt. Jason Walker reporting.
Stand-up comedian Dave Chappelle tackled by a fan while he was on stage last night at LA's Hollywood Bowl. Chappelle was okay, and the show did go on, but the attacker was dragged away by security and then carted off in an ambulance. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing Yernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
You could have got me today.
I could have.
You really could have, man. I'm frazzled.
Well, fortunately, I too am a little you lucked out.
You're looking a little discolored.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
just kind of pale. Like
I don't feel nauseous anymore. I don't feel my stomach. I'm not ready to eat.
Sure.
But I got a feeling. I'm sorry, but I think I'm getting sick. I think
it's coming.
I think it is. I hope not, but and I don't know how much of it's mental and how much of it's actual.
God, dude. I mean,
because I've had allergies anyway, so my head's full of. So I don't know if
it's kind of a yucky day, anyways. I mean, I could be kicking stuff up.
No, but yeah.
Now listen. I would never wish this on any coworker peer that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I would just love to be in the room during an interview where just you're asking a question and then out of nowhere just
that almost happened.
Has it?
Yeah. You remember?
I don't.
You remember?
Trying to.
About a month or two ago, I was interviewing someone on the radio.
No, that's right.
I literally said, Sean, I gotta go.
Yeah, you tapped out, and that was the thing is you were reticent enough to tap out. But I'm curious, like, is there ever do you think there'd ever be a moment where like you wouldn't catch the trigger in time?
Maybe. I don't think I've been surprised by puking before. I never had ooh, where'd that come from?
How do you segue out? And we'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never not had warning there. You know what I mean?
And of course, the broadcaster in you mindset would be like, arc the board. That's
right.
To avoid getting the machinery wet.
This thing doesn't do good with liquids.
Right.
Yeah.
So of course you're trying to arc it on the guest.
Yeah. No, I'd be much.
Sorry,
more...
Mr. Mayor. I'm just saying, if you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that was my one time, and that's never happened to me ever. I've been sick doing shows, but I've never been on air where I'm like, I'm going to go right now. I need to stop.
That was an incredibly interesting moment in my career. I've never been dropped into an interview not knowing what the conversation was.
Yeah.
And having to pull it up.
I literally puked and rallied.
I stuttered more in that one question I asked than I've ever stuttered my entire life.
I literally ran out of here, told Sean, and then ran to the bathroom, yacked up a lung, and then or a gut, whatever, and then I collected myself in the other room. You know, got the sweat and everything else that from. And then I came back here and finished the interview.
Yeah, like a trooper, man. I got to tell you, that was that
was one of the weirdest moments.
That was one of those moments where you your respect for someone's professionalism in the career in your career path goes up a notch. Yeah. That was one of those days. You booted
I felt more
and
embarrassed
rallied.
than anything.
Not
I was
even,
more
man.
embarrassed because I'm embarrassed that it happened. You
made it to the right place at the right time. I'm sitting here thinking, at some point in time, just the trigger could hit, and
yeah, it could have been much worse.
Next thing you know, the comptroller is getting covered.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. But I have done that. Now I'm just being gross. I've had a moment where I got sick driving.
Oh, really?
And I literally cranked down the window, stuck my head out, blah, and kept going.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And maintained lane and speed.
It was a while ago, but I've done that.
That's impressive. You know who I feel bad for? The guy behind you.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, it was
like this jerk won't speed.
Fortunately, it was not a crowded area, and and people are like, "Why didn't you pull over?" I'm like, "I'm not smart." It was actually city traffic. There wasn't really a convenient place to pull over at that time. I was kind of but there was no cars around me. So when I booted out of the window, it did not end
you were
up
just
on
setting it free into nature.
Yeah,
as one does.
I did have to get a car wash later on, but
I just imagine that one scene in Family Guy where Stewie's just in fetal position in the backseat going, "Turn off the windshield wipers. You're not helping. You're just making it worse."
Yeah, one of my earliest embarrassing puke memories. Now that we're going down this,
I know.
road.
You at the same time, I was like, wow, this conversation, we entered some rare air.
When I was a freshman in high school, ninth grader, new to high school, maybe been there a couple months in.
Fresh.
It was the fall, like October time frame, maybe. And I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I did what I did. But it was towards the end of the school day. I was not feeling good. I wasn't feeling good. I was like, well, I'm going to tough it out. It's almost day. And at the closing bell rang. We all went and got our stuff, and we're heading to go home. And so I'm walking out to the buses to get on my bus. I walk up, get on the bus. I proceed to take about 10 steps into the bus, and then it decides to come out. And it shot out. It was like, and it went about 10 feet. And it hit the back, and then the bus. You would have thought a bomb went off on that thing. Everybody screamed. The back doors blew open. The people behind me, it was just like people pouring out of the back seat. The front, and then I'm just sitting there in the middle of the bus in a chair, covered in puke, going, ugh. And it was like, you okay?
Feeling better now.
And so that was by far my most embarrassing one.
That's the worst.
Because I had a few Ralph and Chuck jokes for months afterwards.
Sure.
Until the full took over, and then those went away. But
there's certain moments in your childhood in school age that you just don't live down.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna have to move. We are gonna have to. Mom, Dad, we're changing schools.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. That was me. So I have a history.
Same. And you can hear way more about that history, both Mike's and mine, during Mike Winter's After Dark.
Ah, yes, that's where the good stories
That's
come
right.
out. We just got to figure out how to do that.
Once we get the logistics for it, trust me, this is going to be a show that if those people who are fans of this show are going to want to be at.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
You're going to learn things about us that... You're going to see us in a different light by the end of that night.
Hopefully better. Hopefully a good
theory.
one. Actually, you might go to that thing and be like, that man is a savage. I will never listen to him again.
No, they're going to leave thinking, dear God, Sean is not that different from his on-air persona, is he? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
No, this is real.
Yeah. Well, and in all fairness, I'm not much different off air either.
Half the reason I have a career in radio is because my life is a crap show. Sometimes, it's bad days lead to good stories.
My off-air and on-air personality are the same as far as my beliefs and what I think.
Mm-hmm.
How I say it and what I say is way different.
Absolutely.
But my thoughts and opinions are the same. It's just how I present them.
Hard subject to change.
In my civilian life is way different than how I do it in my radio life.
Right. So. I want to be able to shake the sheriff's hand.
Because I'm a little blunt sometimes, and that I hide that on the radio as much as possible. But there are times where people say things and I can't, and I just and then I'm like, that was a mistake.
And that's word vomit. Returning us to our original point.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm still married. In quite fairness,
get that.
You know what? I need to give a clue.
Oh, yes.
Some say I need to get a clue.
Some.
But right at this moment, I need to give a clue.
Because you're the one with the clues.
Speaking of clues, Clue is opening weekend for Clue with the Roswell Community Theater is this weekend.
Just the one.
Yes. Un bell. Un ding, por favor.
Si.
One ping only, please.
A lot of hang time on that bell.
Know what that's from? One ping, please. One ping only.
I'm not.
No?
I'm not going to get it. Just
No?
No.
Okay.
Well, give it to me. Where is it?
It would be a Tom Clancy fair.
Oh, see, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Hunt for Red October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was when Sean Connery was trying to determine whether the U.S. was a good guy or a bad guy. He was sending out pings, and he's telling his sonar guy, send out one ping only, please.
Gentlemen,
so he's trying to do code there.
Can I have at least one ping?
Oh yeah, Clue.
Yes.
But Clue's they're going to opening weekend for Clue is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday evenings at 7:30, and then the Sunday matinee at 2:30 p.m. And then they're going to do it all over again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But they got a fun little contest going on all week where we gave out clues Monday. We gave out 2 clues on Monday. We gave out a clue yesterday. And now we've got today's clue for you. Now, what do you do with said clues, you ask? Well, let me tell you. You go to, I'm going to give you a clue, and it's going to be for a location here in town. You're going to go to that location based off the clue.
Right.
You figure it out. They're not that difficult. I'm just telling you. You don't have to. You have to put more of your listening cap on than your thinking cap on.
I almost feel like we should challenge. We should make them a little harder.
Well, it's not my set.
I know.
So
I know.
I don't get to.
But like, you get a little something extra on Mornings with Mike Winters. A little extra challenge.
Forget the easy way. Do it the hard way, like me.
Step it up a notch.
So each week, or each day, they're going to have these different locations. You're going to go to the location, which I'm going to give you for the clue for in a minute.
Yep.
You're going to find I don't know if you call it a clue card or a clue. And then that will give you information on who the murderer is in the play. Now, you gather these clues all week. If you go to roswelltheater.com, spell theater Theatre, you can see the previous clues and of course, see today's clue. But you go gather those and then go to any one of the 6 performances of the show, whether it's this weekend or next, and there'll be a time where you can present your evidence as to who do you think the killer is. And all the people that get that correct will be into a drawing to win a prize.
Nice.
And then they're going to take each of the 6 winners, one winner from each show, and they're going to put them into another drawing to win another amazing prize.
Pretty sweet.
So come and play the Clue game this week with the Roswell Community Theater.
So I'm left with one question, Mike.
Yes.
What is today's clue?
Funny you should ask. I so happen to have it right here.
Let us have it.
The clue for Wednesday. Here it is. Well, Colonel Mustard sure is hungry. Join him for lunch and enjoy a Wiccan Witch with Gouda Mac and Alienade, only at Bewitches. Like I said, these aren't hard clues. You just got to listen.
That's what I'm saying. If you stop right before those last 3 words,
yeah,
people who know could have figured it out pretty quickly.
I think so.
I just feel like you're.
Well, I think they want to make sure everyone has a chance to go.
Sure, I understand that, but you're short selling. You're short selling the mental acuity of the people that are going to be playing this game.
Well, I don't make the clues.
Again, this is just open criticism. I know.
I'm a messenger. Don't shoot me.
I'm not. Choir, if you will.
But let me give you the clue one more time. Again, they're not hard, but you just got to listen. Just listen. Sometimes listen. You know what? You could do a whole lot of good in life. You just sit back and listen sometimes.
Yeah, 2 ears, 1 mouth.
There you go. Listen
for that.
Well, Colonel Mustard sure is hungry. Come join him for lunch and enjoy a Wiccan Witch with Gouda Mac and an Alienade only at Bewitches.
Wicked Witch, by the way. Does it say Wiccan Witch?
It's Wiccan.
Does it say Wiccan Witch?
Wiccan Witch.
Really? Okay. I was wrong.
It says Wiccan. I believe that's the name of a sandwich.
It must be the name of a sandwich.
I've had a couple of their sandwiches. I don't think I've had that one.
I haven't
at the place of which we speak.
Whatever that place happens to be, witches.
But get your clue there today. My question is, does Colonel Mustard put mayo on his sandwich?
No, never.
I mean, I've just wondered, is he like, no, I don't even like mustard.
That's blasphemy. No, and only the best of mustards.
He's a great poupon guy?
That's right. The spiciest, the Dijonist of mustards only will do for Colonel Mustard.
I'll argue. I'll take a Golden's mustard any day over a Grey Poupon.
Love me some Golden's.
Yep.
So there's actually a mustard. I don't even know the name of the brand, but it's got a pig on the front. And it's the kind with like the whole mustard seeds in it.
Okay.
It's legitimately my favorite mustard.
Interesting.
It is the best. It's got a nice spice to it, a little sweetness. It's got the pop of the mustard seed. It's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. So look for the one with the pig on the front. That's how you know you got a good mustard.
You know it goes good with pork, swine, mustard.
Turns out, mustard.
There it is. It is 9:20. Is Marcos Nava here? No. Okay. I don't think our guest is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a update for news. Marcos Nava is scheduled to join us to talk about the Cinco de Mayo celebration, which is actually happening this Friday and Saturday. Friday, May 6th from noon to 10 p.m. and Saturday, May 7th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be a fun 2 days of just all the stuff that you love from Cinco de Mayo celebration. They're going to have DJ music. The folklorico dancers will be there. Of course, one of the highlights of the Cinco de Mayo festival is the taco and jalapeno eating contest. So that's going to be happening. They're going to have live music. That's going to have country, Tejano music, norteño music, and cumbia. Multiple food vendors, community and informational booths. They're going to have fun children's activities and more. And it's this year's 2022 Fiesta Cinco de Mayo Festival, Friday, May 6th from noon to 10 p.m. and then this Saturday, May 7th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. All right, it is 9:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warming up over the next couple of days. We'll start off with a few clouds today and then going up to 90 by afternoon. Wind at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Sunny for the afternoon hours and then clear tonight. Breezy and down to the low 50s and then sunshine and upper 80s on Thursday. We'll hit the mid 90s with sunny skies on Friday. Sunny and hot for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 35%. Winds are calm at the moment. We do have a red flag warning. That's going to kick in at noon today, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. We are looking at a warm day, highs near 90, 89 officially. Winds will be out of the southwest, 10 to 15 this morning. Later today, those winds will pick up 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 50, west winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Thursday, sunny skies, 87 for a high, northwest winds 10 to 15. Friday, sunny, hot, highs near 97, northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then we bust through the century mark on Saturday. Sunny, 101 for a high, winds will be breezy. Sunny on Sunday as well, highs of 98, also breezy winds there. So that's what we're looking at for the next few days here. It is 22 minutes after 9. Let's take a quick commercial break. Since we don't have Marcos Nava here, we're going to replay our interview we had yesterday. Joining us, we had the folks from the Roswell Community Theater talking about the Clue play. So we had the director and Colonel Mustard, Mr. Body, and there's one more character I just can't remember off the top of my head. So we had them all on the show yesterday, so we're going to play that for you here in just a minute. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Oh, and the cook. That's what it was. Here it goes. Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, we're getting close to summer and hotter weather. It's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
Hunting season's here again, and LGS Guns and Ammo is stocked up for your next hunt with everything you need. The draw results for New Mexico are in. Put that hunting, fishing, or trapping license of yours to good use and get to LGS Guns and Ammo for the hunting gear you need. Rifles, ammo, scopes, optics, binoculars, and so much more. From brands you know, like Ruger, Sulky, Vortex, and Burris Optics. Right now, take 10% off all firearms, 15% off accessories, and 15% off all Liberty safes. Do hunting season right with LGS Guns and Ammo across from Target in Roswell and at 109 North El Paso in Hobbs.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning, we have not all of the cast, but a hunk of the cast here from Clue here at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Let me, where'd my paper go? There it goes. Our director, Kathy Cook, is with us here this morning. Colonel Mustard, Randy Nolan here as well. We also have Miles Lopez. You're the cook, right?
No, she's the cook.
You're the cook.
Aaron's the cook.
Aaron Adler's the cook.
I am the cook.
And Miles Lopez is the body.
Mr. Body.
Mr. Body. AKA the body.
Yeah.
Eventually. I guess you
No,
put it
that
like
was Jesse Ventura.
Well, I was going to say, steal that from you. Could be Jesse, the body, Mr. Body, Ventura.
Yes, I love it.
Very good. Well, thank you guys for spending the time with us. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
So, first off, if you're not familiar, the Roswell Community Little Theater, they're a great organization that's been around, I don't know, as long as Roswell.
Almost 70 years now.
doing performances and stuff. And, obviously had to take a bit of a hiatus, sort of, with COVID and things, but still managed to do some stuff during that time. But now that we're out of COVID, the Community Little Theater's been hot and heavy doing shows here the last 6 months, year here, since we've kind of been coming out of COVID here. And the next big production here is coming up this weekend and next, and it is one that I think a lot of people are familiar with, is Clue, which either the board game, or maybe you're familiar with the movie that they turned into, I guess, a theater. Was it originally theater and then a movie, or vice versa?
No, I think it was a movie first.
So this is one of the few exceptions that it started as the movie. And then they decided, hey, we're going to put a Broadway version of this. So
and it actually was made into like a high school musical first. And then they adapted the script to make it a little bit more closely like the movie.
Gotcha.
For just stage.
And if you've never seen the movie, it's a comedy. It's very much it's a whodunit. It's Clue. It's the whodunit. But and of course, I'm a big fan of Tim Curry. Every one of his movies are a hit. Even I'm not even a big fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show per se, but
him in it.
Right. It's Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly. So when I think of Clue, I go right to Tim Curry. I mean, there was a lot of other great performances in there. That's kind of the one that stands out to everybody. But which, by the way, I imagine whoever the butler is probably got big shoes, because everyone's going to think Tim Curry when you think
he's got some big shoes, and he is doing a fabulous job.
Awesome.
It's Charles Lathrop, and he's done several things at the theater. And
gotcha.
He's awesome.
So I'm curious for you guys as actors, do you get, especially with Colonel Mustard, who's people, that seems to be when people think Clue, when you fire off a character, Colonel Mustard's 9 times out of 10 probably the first one people throw out of their mouths. But how much does when you have a movie, how does that influence like what you guys do as actors? I mean, because at some point you're like, all right, I'm making this my own. This is my character. But when you're looking at a movie and you're like, how much of that rubs off and you're like, well, I'm gonna like, well, it's gonna sound like Tim Curry, or is this gonna be my version of it? How much of that does that play in? I mean, because I'm guessing you want a little of that because you want the audience to be familiar with you, but at the same time, you don't want to do a version of someone else's thing out there too.
Yeah. There are actors who will not watch the movie.
Gotcha.
Until after the show's over.
Sure. Was that anybody here? Did y'all?
Oh no.
Well, not here, but one of our cast members, our Mrs. White, refused to watch the movie until she had developed her own idea of what she wanted to do with the character.
Now, has she since seen it?
I think she has. Yeah.
Just curious. What's her thoughts?
I don't know that I've spoken with any of you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No. Yeah. I don't know.
But for everyone else, did y'all seen the movie prior to auditioning for this roles?
I have not.
Okay, so so have you still not seen it to this day?
I have not.
All right. Now do you have plans to?
Yes.
All right. Very good.
It's not planned that he hasn't seen it. It's just the fact that he hasn't seen it.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, you also, I'm guessing, it's a little different. We were on Earth at the time and all that. I'm not, depending on, when did that movie come out? I don't even remember.
I think it was about 1985.
85, and I'm assuming you weren't with us.
Way before I was.
Yeah, let's say you weren't around with us in 1985.
I am 17. And I don't know if you've picked up on this yet, but Miles and Aaron are mother and son.
I kind of figured that way.
So we got a little family thing going on.
Yeah, I kind of figured the way they were interacting. Right. I'll just wait for him to bump in the head when he said something wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Give it a minute.
This happened.
We've only been here 5 minutes.
Right.
Give us time.
It usually only takes about that long.
So let me ask, who got who into doing this? Son or mom?
Or actually, technically, it's both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
You kind of decided together? Okay.
Yeah, I've done theater for many, many years in high school and actress such. But he really likes the game Clue.
Okay.
And so we had actually just bought a game of Clue.
Yeah.
The board game. And maybe like 3 days later, I saw an advertisement on Facebook for the audition.
That's a little serendipitous.
And I was like, dude, look at this, check it out. And he's like, we're going.
Yeah, when she showed me, I'm like, we're going. End of story.
Yeah.
So you're a fan of the game. That's what got you. All right. So do you have a favorite character? Favorite
yes and no.
Like when I was a kid, I remember getting the things and like, ooh, look at the cool knife, or you know, I mean, you kind of dug the. Was there like, do you have your favorite pieces or favorite rooms or favorite characters in the?
Not really. I usually just play wherever and whenever.
Okay. Like I didn't know if you're secret. Like, oh, I hope it's plum. Or I hope it's white. I hope it's mustard. Very cool. I love that. I think, and now I'm kind of wanting to know what your reaction to the movie is when you do eventually get around to seeing it and seeing what you thought of, you know, how the live theater version versus the movie version is. But folks, if we would love to have everyone come on out. We got good news is you've got 6 performances ahead of you right now, so you got time. Opening weekend is this Friday night. Friday night and Saturday night. Those are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then on Sundays the matinee, which is at 2:30.
2:30.
I always get that confused at 2 or 2:30, but it's 2:30.
Well, it used to be 2, and then we made it 2:30 so people wouldn't get confused.
Gotcha.
Everything in the half hour.
It gives you an extra half hour to get out of church and get your meal and get all the stuff you're going to do before you head out to the play.
Right.
So, but and it'll be this weekend and next weekend. Now, hopefully you were listening earlier and things. There is a fun little game that we've got. It clues a game, right? You gotta have a game with the game, with the play and all that. So hopefully you're participating. But really beginning yesterday, they've started issuing out clues, and there's various supporters in town that are holding evidence, clue cards.
Yep.
And based on our clues, which I'll give today's again. I'm not going to redo yesterday's.
Yeah.
But you can go to RoswellTheater.com.
Yes.
Spell theater right, Theatre.
Exactly.
And then you can see what yesterday's clues. I'm going to make you do a little work there. Yeah. And then you can go on out and pick up the clues at the various things. But if you and basically what happens is you're going to hear the clues, and then each day this week, you know, go to the business that you think is the answer to the clue. There'll be the clue card there if you got it right. Yep. And then go to any of the performances, whether it's this Friday or next Sunday afternoon, any of those performances, and they'll give you an opportunity to present your evidence. And then all the folks that present the correct evidence will be in a drawing to win a prize that evening or that afternoon. Yep. And then on the Sunday of the final performance, the 6 winners from each show will be put into another drawing to win an even cooler prize. Yeah. So if you'd like to play in that and have some fun with it on top of just going to see a play, get the kids involved, let them have some fun with it here too. And I think that could be a good family thing and make it part of it. And y'all, you know, work hard this week trying to get all the clues and then decide what show works best for you guys to come to and come and present your evidence. And who knows, you might get a sweet little prize. So.
You just might.
And all of it supporting the communal theater and the performing arts and really a way to thank your guys' supporters as well, because these are all businesses that either are supporting now or have supported through the years the communal theater. Well, it's whether it's giving them money or giving them props or and when it not props, not like good job. I mean like props. I should clarify. You know, props for the stage. Although I'm sure there's a few attaboys in there too.
Well, we'll take that on the back. It'll be all right.
Right. Why we do it?
But and so we'd love to have you come be a part of it here. So
also the 12th. Thursday the 12th.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be an immersive dinner.
Oh, you're going to do the dinner experience for this one.
Yeah,
very good.
The members of the cast will serve you.
Okay.
Yes. And
it'll be on stage here and everything, right?
Yes. That's right. And it's, what is it?
It's the menu?
Yeah.
Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington, that's what it was.
And we have the celebrity chef. I can't remember.
Gordon Ramsay?
No.
Carrie Moore. Carrie Moore.
Oh,
yes.
Bewitches.
Yes. And she's doing the
She does some
menu
good sandwiches if you haven't had those sandwiches.
She absolutely does.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have monkey brains, monkey bread.
Okay.
And a shark fin Texas toast in a soup that she's making.
Nice. With your beef Wellington.
With the beef Wellington.
Very cool.
So little hints of the show. And
I had to go to the Bellagio in Vegas to have beef Wellington.
Oh, you had to?
Such a terrible.
I had no other opportunity to get beef Wellington. So that was the only time I've had it. We were on vacation a few years ago. And we went to their buffet. And it was like, oh, beef Wellington's on it. Oh, look at this. And
my husband and I love Vegas. We got married there, so.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, the Bellagio has like on the weekends like a expensive a buffet.
Yeah.
And it has like caviar.
They have an expensive everything.
Yeah.
It's Vegas, come on.
But
What do you expect?
I mean, like average schmo like me, expensive, and it was just. But yeah, they got to do things like caviar and stuff that most of us don't get to eat on a regular basis. And I tried all that mess, but that was the time one time I had beef Wellington.
Well,
so
you'll have an opportunity to
the
do it
11th.
again.
You can do it again.
The 12th.
The 12th. The 12th. I'm
Thursday.
sorry.
Thursday the 12th.
Now, what is it? Go through the website, theroswelltheater.com to
I
get
believe
your
you can
tickets.
get your tickets there.
Probably the best way there. And that'll be again that Thursday, next Thursday.
Yep.
And that'll be at the theater. So come and have a meal, and then come back the next night for the show there.
That's
and
right.
all that too while the cast serves. And all right, who's now I got to ask if you're going to go and which member of the cast is a little clumsy when you want to avoid a little bit for maybe. No, I want the other person to hand me
Mr. Green.
I just say, do you want the character that's clumsy or the actor that's clumsy?
the one that's going to keep me from wearing my beef Wellington.
I would probably have to say, stay away from Mr. Green.
Okay,
Mr.
Whoa.
Green.
Especially if it's thundering that night.
Right, yes.
Very good. Yeah, and that would be the one time it rains here in Roswell. You'll be here the day it happens.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take every moisturing a bit. So let me ask the play, this version, how is it very much like the movie? Is it a little bit different? Is it completely different? How much do they take from it, and how much do they kind of branch away from it?
I'd say 85 to 90% of it is like
very
the
much
movie.
like
Okay, so if you love the movie,
Very
then
much
you're gonna
like the
You're gonna
love this.
you're gonna recognize this.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I know obviously there's things you can do on screen that you can't do on stage, and so they probably had to rewrite to kind of make that fit in some of the things, and vice versa. There's things you can do on stage it's really hard to do in a theatrical version too. So, so how long is the cast? Because I know you guys have been working on this for a couple months now. And everything. It's been. I mean, I know the schedule. What's the is it every night for you guys? Now, this is something that folks don't realize is the dedication and commitment that the cast puts in. I know this once the moment they audition and sign up and say, "Hey, we're going to do this," it's a commitment where they're devoting good hunks of their weeks to being out at the theater or at home, rehearsing, practicing, getting ready for this. So, have you guys had any free time in the last month here, or has it been pretty much devoted to Clue?
Pretty much devoted to Clue. Except for Holy Week.
Yeah.
Got to stop for that.
It didn't stop, but there was also other stuff.
Slow down.
Right.
It just got busier.
So in between Easter celebrating, you were kind of like, all right, let me learn my lines here, let me study, let me do that kind of stuff. So let's ask. I'm gonna start this way. What's your favorite parts about your character? What's the things that you're kind of like you were drawn to it, and is there parts that you aren't drawn to it too as well? I'm gonna get to each of you. I'm gonna start this way for you and your character.
Well, the irony is I didn't start out having my character.
Okay.
I kind of earned my character. I was supposed to be just the props person.
Okay.
And then the lady that was cast as the cook couldn't fulfill
Oh, so you kind of
the
stepped
position.
in and said,
so
all right.
it was like, hey, do you want this? Okay, all right.
So let me ask you
I mean, I'm
this.
here all the time anyway.
So let me ask you this. Was it, because like you said, you've done theater, was it kind of fun to get thrown in your lap last minute a little bit?
It was.
I mean, because there's a challenge to that.
Right,
So,
right.
So was that fun for you? And I mean, obviously when you hear it, like, oh my gosh, but
all
once you
right.
settle down into it, you're
Right.
kind of like, I kind of dig it, you know?
Right.
So was that like that for you? On this
Yeah,
one?
pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was nice to actually get a part. I wasn't sad that I didn't get a part when we auditioned.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of great actors that were out there. So it was a guess, and by golly, when you only have a certain number of, what do we have, 13 characters to fill and
Right.
25 people auditioning, obviously not everybody's going to get a part.
Sure.
So, I was like, I will do props. He got a part. That's great.
Yeah.
And, okay, now I have a part. All right.
Well,
we can do this.
And since you mentioned it, real quick, I want to throw that plug in is if you want to get involved with the Community Little Theater, it's not always being on the front of stage. Like if you're like, I don't want nothing to do with acting or singing, no.
Yeah. Right.
There are so many roles behind the scenes, whether it's props, whether it's costuming, whether it's sitting in the booth for sound and light, whether it's helping
stage manager.
Yeah, stage managing, helping with props, helping building sets, helping with ushering and just ticket taking and doing all the ancillary things that are needed to run a theater.
Running the concessions.
We'd love to have volunteers. All of it's volunteer operations, or even serving on the board. I'm sure. I'm sure you got a lot of great people that serve on the board, but they've been doing it for a while, and they're probably getting tired of doing it after a while, and it's time to get new people to. So if folks are interested in that way, we'd love to have serve because. It's and I know this. I don't know everything, but I know enough to know that when you guys do plays and things, the board it's way in advance. Like these guys decided to do Clue not like last week. This was probably a year plus ago when it was put on the schedule and everything like that. And that's kind of where the board serves and says, all right, where are we going here? Obviously, people are putting in their I want to do this one, and then they kind of.
I was sketching set designs during COVID lockdown in 2020.
so that's what I'm saying. This is what we're talking about. This is not just we're going to show up one day. This is, in many cases, years of preparation to get this done.
Yeah, we've already got our 22-23 and 23-24 seasons planned.
That's scheduled. It goes that far out. So this is. I know we talk and everything has a very spontaneous feel and everything, but there's a lot of people,
a lot of planning ahead
and a lot of planning that are going on here. So all right, I got sidetracked.
No worries.
It never happens on this show.
It's not like the Busby Berkeley movies where it's, hey,
No, exactly. But all right, for your character, what's your for Mr. Body? What's kind of like, is there parts you love, parts you hate, parts what's your?
Well, with Mr. Body, I was actually, whenever I first auditioned, I was originally an extra, aka like one of the cops, and then.
So you, like your mom, you kind of as need arise, you got to step up.
Yeah. The person who was originally playing Colonel Mustard had to quit.
Okay.
And then he took the position, but he was originally Mr. Body, and then I took the position of Mr. Body.
So
we definitely
have to be a little bit flexible.
Yes.
Well, good news is you got a promotion now. You're
So now I'm both Mr. Body and the cop.
Okay.
And
so now it's dual role.
Which
is something that happens in theater.
Yes, it is.
And guess what? You might play different sexes and everything else too. You might, be wearing a dress on stage. That's what happens.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But as Mr. Body, I like him because he's just this mysterious character that no one knows exactly who or what he is.
Gotcha.
Like he comes in and everyone's like, who's this?
Right.
And Mr. Body just acts like it's all okay and just rolls with it.
Nice. Gotcha. So he's kind of, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
And plus, like you said, when we think of Clue, we don't think of Mr. Body. We think of Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, all the famous ones.
Yeah. In the game, Mr. Body's already dead.
Yeah.
That's who we're trying to figure out.
And so
we're trying to figure out who killed Mr. Body.
Right.
It's a little on the nose, right? The guy's name.
And it's a double D body. Right?
I didn't do much research on the creativity of the name.
He's a body, we'll call him Mr. Body.
We got to remember, it was a Parker Brothers board game. They weren't thinking of Gone with the Wind when they made it. But that's what's fun about it too.
Yep.
So now I'm curious, since you're a board game fan, is there a dream like one you wanted to do? Like you're like, I would love to be.
I wanted to be Colonel Mustard or Professor Plum.
Okay. Well, they're the big guns, right?
Yeah.
Plum and Mustard are the two.
And then I was
big
thrown
names.
in as an extra.
The Scarlet.
But it's better than nothing. You start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now let me ask, like your mother's done. So, is this your first opportunity doing theater?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't even know how many years ago I was in a vacation Bible school and we did a play that was over Moses and the Ten Commandments.
Got you. So you did kind of church theater and things like that.
That was my first and only theater experience.
Well, now you're.
So now he's got the real theater experience.
So let me ask you this: are you bit with the bug? Like now that Clue's over, are you ready to? Are you like, man, I want to see what's next, and I want to see if there's anything I can audition for the next play.
I do want to see what is next, but depending on the play, I may or may not audition.
Gotcha.
Like, if it's not something that seems interesting to me, then I'm not going to audition. But if it seems like even a little bit intriguing, then I will go check it out, see what it's about.
Now I'm curious. Like, they're going to say, no, when I know this is not what's next, but I'll be like, if it's Steel Magnolias, I can see that. I know that's not next, but it's just just the first thing that popped in my head I want to throw out there. But all right, for Colonel Mustard, for you, what's like you said, you were originally Mr. Body, ended up being Colonel Mustard here. What's is there aspects of this character you kind of digging or fun or vice versa, ones you're not so much?
He gets to live.
This is true. He's one of
Spoiler
us.
Spoiler alert.
That was his real goal. I want to move up to another position so I don't die.
It is clearly.
That was one of the parts that I really wanted was Colonel Mustard.
Cool.
Cool. So now I get to do it. It's just fun.
Now, like when you, for you, is it do you look at the card and like, all right, what is this guy like? Or you do the movie, or is it your own thing? You know.
Well, I watched the movie, but you really can't play somebody else's character.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to make the character your own. I mean, you can look at what Martin Mull did and think, oh yeah, that was kind of funny.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
and Mull's got a certain.
Yeah, he's him and I'm me.
Yeah. Mull's kind of got that almost dry humor to him, where he's not going to hit you boisterously. He's going to get you low underneath and make you laugh that way. Right. And I could see that.
And we have a different director than the movie had.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And she's got her vision of the show.
Sure.
Right.
So but I almost one would look at because you definitely look at the cards in the game, and they've got that Aristotic air to all of the characters. So to me, I almost would look at it and be like, what would this guy sound like? And and you start thinking, all right, and then there's probably some kind of combination of Captain Crunch and Moby Dick going on
Captain
there.
Kangaroo.
Moby Dick. I mean, I don't know. There's something going on. Captain Ahab and Captain Crunch mixed together. I don't know.
You almost need Captain Kangaroo pockets to put the weapons in.
That's true.
Right.
True.
No, we have a duffel bag.
So for you as director, let me like when you're watching and directing and giving the actors notes and things, which like is your vision just the script, or do you kind of look at it like I see it a different way and want to put it this way?
Well, me as a director, I always, you start with the script.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the ideas all come from.
Sure.
But then I take a lot from what the actors give me.
Right.
So if I've done my job correctly in casting, then my vision kind of just happens because
I'm going to do an analogy.
We got the right people. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a good one, but this is how I relate, maybe others. It's kind of like a football coach. When a football coach has got his football team, some of the best ones, the football coach will be like, I'm a run-heavy guy or I'm a pass-heavy, whatever their philosophy is. But generally, the best ones say, well, what's my talent at the moment?
Right.
I need to come up with a scheme that maximizes their strength. So is that kind of like what you're saying?
Exactly.
Is like, the script's just got the guidelines here, but what are these folks good at? Let's make that. We're going to enhance that, and the things they're not so good at, we're going to kind of, shadow a little bit, hide under a basket.
Right.
If you will.
And they develop the rapport between each other, and they find their relationships with the other actors on stage as well.
Very
in a way that's different than what the actors in the movie would have.
Yeah, good deal. And so I would love to invite folks to come out and see this.
Absolutely.
If you've never, and I think this is a great one for even folks that are kind of like poo-poo live theater or musicals, that kind of thing, because this one it's a subject matter we're all familiar. Clue is everyone knows Clue. You know what I mean? It's right there with Mickey Mouse and McDonald's. We all know Clue. And
it's a complete release from reality.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's a fun couple hours of coming out and just having a good time. So make it a date night, make it a family night. Make it, I don't have any friends, I'm going to come meet new people. I don't know, whatever that is. I'd love to come on out.
If nothing else, you can come shake hands with us after the show.
Yeah, come meet the cast. Come, and maybe you're new to town and like, I love theater. Come out to one of the shows here, meet the cast, meet the crew, get involved here, and come see the facilities. Because, and this is another thing, man, I just saw the time, but Roswell Communal Theater is, you guys are pretty fortunate in that you have more assets and a lot of little theaters have across the country. You have your own facility, which is in and of itself a huge deal. And obviously that's awesome, but it's also immense responsibility. So I know that you guys have been working on paying for a new roof here and all that. So from this perspective, you coming out and supporting these shows, you're helping them. All this money goes back into the program, back to the facility, back into to making sure the CAPS program, all the things that are part of the community little theater. You coming out and enjoying these shows continue that to happen. And to be honest, I imagine dictates also what the planning of this is. You know, when things like this are popular, they're going to say, "Ooh, we got more people coming to these shows.
Exactly.
Maybe we should start planning these type of shows." And so the board and everyone that's deciding are looking off of, well, how many people showed up to this one? So you know, you got, like your last production had a lot of people. That says, you know, and I know for a fact they're like, "Oh, we need to plan a sequel. We need to do more because that was." And so, if you love Clue, if you love this, come support it. Come be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest signal you send to the board of directors. And saying, we want more of this. Yes. We want more of this kind of stuff. So come be a part. It's family-friendly, fun atmosphere. Come play in the game, too. Come look for the clues. Let me give you today's clue again. Like I said, I'm going to make you work for yesterday's. But you got today's. Today's clue, meet Professor Plum's friend Oscar, where you can find ancient rocks and fossils from the ancients of days. So, I didn't say they're hard clues. You're a little bit smarter here. We don't need to be ace detectives, just detective lights to figure these one out. But you can do it, and come in and get the clue. And then go back to RoswellTheater.com to get yesterday's clue, or I think there might be on the Facebook wall as well too. Just look for Roswell Community Theater on Facebook as well there too. And then don't forget performances of Clue this Friday night, this Saturday night. Those are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then Sunday afternoon at 2:30. And if this weekend's not looking good for you, then we got next weekend as well. Friday night, Saturday night again at 7:30, Sunday afternoon at 2:30. You can order tickets in advance right now, again at RoswellTheater.com. Don't forget they spell theater like live theater, Theatre. If you don't remember anything, just Google RCLT, Roswell Community, it'll pop right up. And
Sunday is Mother's Day. Bring your mama.
Oh, that's right. This Sunday is Mother's Day. What better way to celebrate Mom than taking her out to a show? And, maybe get her some tickets to the Thursday night dinner.
Right.
That won't be on Mother's Day, but you say, "All right, Mom, we're gonna take you to dinner." It'll be a couple days after next Thursday, and then get her tickets. So take her to the show Sunday. Have her meet the cast and characters, and then have them serve them beef Wellington on Thursday night. Here. What's the cost on tickets for the dinner? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm sure it's on the website.
It's a little bit more than the past.
Well, it's beef Wellington, I would expect.
I think it's like in the neighborhood of $50 a day.
Okay, very nice. So
it might have bumped up to 60 or something.
Well, it's a date night, or it's just treat your mom to dinner. Right. You know, it's something little. Get a little, make it a thing. Get some fancy duds, and don't have to wear tuxes and stuff. But make it a date night. Make it if you want. If you want,
dress as your favorite character for
there you go. You got dueling Professor Plums, or dueling Colonel Mustard,
or dueling bodies,
or dueling bodies. The body don't eat much.
Extra helping.
I have his beef Wellington. He don't need it.
They come in and just lay on the table dead.
That's right. Service here stinks. Just lying around. But we would love to have everyone come be a part of this. Again, RoswellTheater.com. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. You're going to come and laugh. You're going to have we all can use a little bit of fun here, and come support the communal theater, support our local actors, our local group here. They work, these individuals here and your other castmates and other folks that are associated with are busting their tail doing this. There's a constant, I've done enough stuff with the communal theater, know they have a great core of people that they work god-awful, endless hours in there, doing set design, costume design. They live, breathe, and eat this stuff. And I'm like, you guys should go home once in a while. But they love it and they do it. So come support it. Come support and get involved. But you know what? If you want to while you're there and you want to learn more about the community, ask for a tour.
Yes.
Have them take you behind the stage.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother world back there. They got rooms just full of costumes and props, and it's an amazing thing that they got back there. So
the little theater is not as little as it seems.
It's not.
No, definitely not. The tickets for the immersive dinner are $65.
65. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
And show tickets are just $10, if I remember right.
I believe so. Yeah.
If I remember off the top of my head, I think that's usually about what it is. But again, and then of course tickets will be available at the door.
The price of a movie on popcorn and a movie.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper than that, actually. We get popcorn.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Popcorn, as much as that beef Wellington you're charging. You're now charging for popcorn. But come out, be a part of it. Get your tickets and support it. It's going to be a fun time. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. And for those anti-musical people, bringing them along, it's going to be, I guarantee, they're going to be the people that at first they go, oh, and then they're going to be sitting there with their teeth out laughing and having a good time. I guarantee it.
And there's no singing.
There is no.
Oh yeah, this is not a musical.
Yeah.
This is fully.
Well,
Like
at the end. There's one line.
At
tiny,
the end.
Tiny bit.
Oh, just a little singing. So you can plug your ears if it really bugs you.
They kept telling me, you are not going to turn this into a musical. No, that's what I normally do.
No.
I kept
hold my beer.
I kept telling Kathy that if we make this into a musical, you're getting a new actor.
You're going to need a whole
You
new
have to
cast.
find a new dead guy.
That can be arranged.
The dead guy sings a lot anyway.
She's like, I'm going to make you such a good actor, you're not going to have to act no more. Well, thank you guys for joining us here. Break a leg and come out and see him beginning this Friday night. And again, go to RoswellTheater.com, get your tickets, and learn more about upcoming shows, the kids' arts program. If you have children, I would highly recommend getting them into. They learn every aspect of theater, not just acting, and they learn life skills through that.
Yeah.
So get your kid, learn more about. If you come out to one of the shows, ask about the CAPS program. They'll be happy to tell you more about that.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
appreciate